Greetings, Battle Brothers. It's me, Aurelia Tempris, Defender of the Golden Throne and Servant of Humanity. Welcome in, everybody. I hope you've had a good couple days, because it's video day. And I have Warhammer videos, but I also have food videos because one of my mods sent me a video the other day. I actually saw it in the Taco Bell news channel, and I started watching it and I was like, no, this is so good, we're going to watch it live. So we're gonna have a video that is not Warhammer themed, but that's okay. Oh, we're in the wrong category. Let's fix that. Let's fix that. Do be right. Sorry, no drops today. No drops today. Sorry. Sorry, chat. You're telling me a corpse starch this can't? There is a video on corpse starch. We will be we will be watching a video on that, because I was like, I actually don't know too much about that. I don't know too much about the corpse starch. I know like vague stuff. Like let me know. I'll be honest with everyone. My Warhammer understanding is like general. Oh. My phone is not in here. Oh well, I guess if anyone needs to contact me, they're not gonna be able. Anyways, blah, 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 blah. What was I saying? I don't know specifics. I don't get into nitty gritty. I'm like, I don't know all the different variants that you can have for a Leman or Us battle tank. I don't. Unfortunately, I'm sorry. That's not where my interest lies. I'm more like from a story perspective. So that's that's my understanding of the Warhammers. Okay. Alrighty. I started reading the Horus Heresy recently. Are there any books you recommend? I like the first Heretic. You know, that sounds really heretical. You know, you got the Horus Rising, Galaxy in Flames. Those are solid. First Heretic is really cool. I like First Heretic. That one's pretty solid. And Joe and Too Bright, thank you for the streaks. Wow, yeah. Occasionally Too Bright, one of my mods, likes to flex how long he's been here for. He's like, yeah, this is how many streams. I'm maxed out. Base take, but the First Heretic, it's really good. It gives you a lot of perspective and context. And Seek, thank you so much for the 13 months, man. Thank you. Okay. I'm thinking, but I don't know what I was gonna say. 85 is pretty crazy. Yeah, it's about like 20 to like 22 weeks worth of streams. Well, no, probably 20 to 25, because I stream 3 to 4 days a week, sometimes less. So I would say it's, yeah, it's not how many, yeah, yes, I should clarify. We say this every time, but I'm going to clarify again. It is not how many streams he's watched, it's how long Twitch has been keeping track of the streak. Yeah, he's maxed it out. So, he has seen, oh, my music is off. He has seen 85 streams in a row. Does it, okay, out of curiosity, does the streak register after a certain amount of time, or can you just like show up for like a minute and then you call it good? I don't know how that works. Yeah, a real live Aurelia stream. Yes, that's me. 5 minutes. Okay. Because I was like, there has to be some minimum threshold, and 5 minutes makes sense to me. I was like, it's either 5 or 10, because anything more than that, it's like, who cares? You like the Face of Treachery and the Raven Lord. I have not read Face of Treachery, but you know what that makes me think of? It makes me think of the time Horus took off Erebus's face, and that is the Face of Treachery. Do I read on the Kindle or do I get hard copies? I read on Audible. I don't have as much time to like sit down and read a book unless I'm like on vacation. Then I'll bust out like the physical copy. But I currently listen through Audible. And Ian, thank you so much for the 3 months of support. Thank you, man. The funniest part of Imperium food is how they're just like now loads and loads of corn. Really? Is that true? So I already have videos selected for today. I already have videos selected for today that we're gonna watch. Unless there's something that really I'm like, yes, I really want to do this one. We're gonna stick with what I have for now. There's a healthy mixture. We're gonna cover a lot of different things today. Some silly, some regarding weapons, and then some about food, and then some about Taco Bell. We've got options. Small question, if I may. What do you think of Night Lore stuff, if you got an opinion on it? I don't focus on the Night Lore very much. I like the concept like at like a very surface level, that I kind of like, okay, I was about to say I kind of like feudalism, which it worked for a time. And I was like, wait, I'm gonna get clipped out of context. Here it comes. Anyways, I like the feudalism aspect of it. I think it's really cool, and I find it to be enjoyable, but I don't know the little details on the whole thing. But I think the knights are neat, and being like chivalrous. I'm a huge proponent for being chivalrous in this day and age. I think that's commendable. Oh, Velius Reinhardt, thank you so much for the 5 gift subs. Good to see you, man. Good to see you. If you got a gift sub, please say thank you. You've been conscripted. Congratulations. Erebus is the definition of treachery. If you want a scapegoat for anything, remember, always blame Erebus. Oh man, Mom, I failed my math test. It was Erebus's fault. I stubbed my toe. Oh, thanks, Erebus. I don't know if it works like that, but you know what? It's fine. That's fine. Scotty, thank you for the 100 bits, man. And Polygonal Angel for the 3 months. 3 months of faithful service to the Imperium's best custodians. Thank you, man. Thank you. I appreciate it. Taco Bell and feudal Japan coexisted for 2 months. Really? I always forget. Oh, okay, wait. Feudal Japan. When did that end? I mean, that has to... I always forget that stuff. Japan ended. Wait a second. Taco Bells didn't exist in 1868. I've been lied to. I've been lied to. Unless you meant something different. Mods ban him. He lied to me. He lied to me. I was like, wait a second. That doesn't make sense. It ended so late. Mods ban him. Your first message, and I had absolute faith in you. I guess that says more about me. Somewhere down the line, you got to look at the videos from Project Morningstar, 40K, but replace religion with capitalism. Okay, I'll look. I'll have to look at those eventually. Chaos Incarnate, thank you for the bits. It does work like that. And everything is indeed Erebus's fault. Yes. Yes, this is true. This is true. Yeah, I'll blame Erebus. You're right. I'm going to blame Erebus for him lying to me. Because clearly it was Erebus's fault that he lied. I'm not actually hungry. It was clickbait. I'm not actually hungry. I ate right before this. I just didn't know what to call stream, and I was like, hungry. I was hungry. I was hungry. No, it was Erebus's fault. Okay, should I change it? Should I change it? There you go. I changed it. Are you guys happy now? Okay, I did know about having a cowboy, a samurai, and like a pirate. Like they all existed at the same time. Maybe not in the same place, but the same time period. I do know that. Oh yeah, I guess chat, this is an important question. Samurai, cowboy, or pirate? You can only be one. Which one? Oh, Shades Dude, thank you for the super chat. Almost done with my first minis, just 2 more. Hastari left. The Discord likes them, but I feel like Caiaphas Cain, and I still don't understand shading. Look, man, don't even worry about it. If you want to skip shading, do a wash. It does a lot of it for you. Alright, now for the important question. We've got samurai, pirate, samurai, cowboy, samurai, cowboy, samurai. Mostly samurai so far. Cowboy. And welcome in, Raiders. Good to see you. Important question. Would you be a samurai, a cowboy, or a pirate? That is, you know, a critical question. It tells me a lot about your character as an individual. Samurai? Yeah, see, honestly, I would pick samurai. I would pick samurai. Cowboy, I already have the boots, hat, and revolver. Fair. Okay, on YouTube, there's a lot of pirates. I don't think no one on YouTube has said samurai. They're all like mostly pirates. That's so funny. We got the noble Twitch and the pirating YouTube. I want to become Pirate King. But like, see, there's no honor among thieves. Like, you are not gonna be Pirate King for very long. And Grand Tourist, thank you for the bits. Cowboy, they get guns and they don't get sick as much. Why is that? I mean, pirates, obviously, you're more inclined to get like scurvy because your lack of like citrus in your diet. It's vitamin C. Sorry, scurvy occurs due to a lack of, wait, is it vitamin C? Yeah, it is vitamin C. And that's how you get scurvy. And that's not good, obviously. But like, is that just because pirates get more sick? They get sick more often. Change my answer to pirate. Yeah, YouTube is still like pirate. Depends on the ship and the crew for the pirate, so without details, cowboy it has to be. I mean, let's say you're, okay. No, you're just an average pirate, because it's like, the other ones are like, you're an average samurai, you're an average cowboy, so it's not like you're the captain of a ship. But you could argue, as a pirate, you have a way to climb the ladder. Instead of climb that ladder, it's the corporate ladder, it's climb that rope ladder. It is also easier to spread diseases on the ship, yeah. That makes sense. Scurvy sucks. Grand Tourist, did you have scurvy? I mean, it's kind of easily fixed with modern medicine. Yeah, fruits go bad quickly, yeah. Yeah, obviously. Like, you'd have to be in a port pretty frequently to get the fruits that you need to combat scurvy or, you know, minimize it. Interpretation of pirate, just like your average pirate. -2, you didn't like my joke? You didn't like my corporate pirate joke? Now I want to know about pirate HR. They get I just imagine there's pirate HR, and a pirate goes to complain because his crewmates are making fun of his peg leg. What did you think the plank was for? That's HR. Oh my gosh, you're so right. You're so right. I choose to be a pirate that targets slaver ships and free the slaves. The freed slaves can keep the ship and we'll take all the money on port. Oh, okay, that's admirable. Okay, that's admirable. Break Fate's chain. Thank you for the super chat. That is okay. That's fair. Honestly, yeah, based. That'd be pretty cool. That'd be pretty cool. Yeah, you're right. What am I talking about? Pirate HR, and they're walking the plank. Yeah, pirates didn't have modern medicine. You don't say. Sorry. There were far fewer places where pirates could resupply, so they had the worst in a lot of ways with scurvy. Yeah, that makes sense. Thank you for the 100. Oh, was there a poll running this whole time? I didn't see there was a poll. I usually just like to look at chat and be like, oh, okay. Like, you get vibes without having a formal poll. I didn't even see we had one up. Mods doing their jobs. Thank you, mods. Thank you, mods. Everyone thank the mods. What was the one, there was, oh, it was a podcast. I listened to it years ago. It was in the same episode as, like, talking about scurvy. It was talking about, I think it was it magnesium? I think the magnesium helped relieve the symptoms of scurvy, but then people died of the magnesium, I think. Hang on. Scurvy symptoms. Did they... Scurvy... Yeah. I think I'm right about this. Oh man, I need to have to look. No, it's not. It's a lack of magnesium. It was just like that was what they did to treat it. What would Sanguinius be? A samurai? No, I know it's not treated with magnesium, Google. I know. I'm just saying, like, what did they like would inject, was it magnesium or was it something else? Injector. No, now it's showing me car stuff. Okay, I must be wrong. It must be something else. Mercury! Thank you! Oh my gosh, I'm stupid. I was like, magnesium. No, mercury. Thank you. It is mercury. Yeah, it's bad. You should not inject mercury into your body. Game's not so good. I don't care that you were just joking. Why is that a... I can't show you guys this. This is a shame. I have a picture of an x-ray that I wasn't expecting to see. And it's of a man. And there's a reason I can tell it's a man. It's kind of funny. I just wasn't expecting to see that. Look up mercury injection on YouTube, and it's like the 4th image. Yeah, I'm like, wait, what is this? What is going on? Because it shouldn't show up on an x-ray, right? I don't know what this is. I was not expecting that. I was like, huh? No, it did. Look it up yourself. I looked up mercury injection, and then... Oh my gosh. That was my day good, because I was going to show you guys, yes, it's a pewter syringe that they use to try to treat scurvy. Ew. gross. Oh, I'm actually... Oh, okay, guys. I'm not gonna show pictures because I don't know where I saw this. But I heard something, or I saw something where people are talking about, like, gamers were talking about having, like, it was kind of gross, like, gamer leg, where, like, their skin looked absolutely terrible, looked like it had holes in it. But now that I'm, like, looking at these pictures of scurvy, these are diagrams, not actual pictures, I wonder if gamer leg is actually scurvy. Because if gamer leg, like, I doubt the gamers are getting their fruits. So they might be getting scurvy. Oh, so it's, oh. Yeah, I won't show you guys pictures. It was kind of nasty. I think I saw it on Twitter. Gamer leg. Ew, yeah, that looks pretty bad. If you look up gamer leg, you can see it yourself. This was like the thing that went viral. I'm not gonna show you guys, it's kind of gross. Ew. Yeah, that could be scurvy. Scurvy. Ugh. It looks kind of similar, not really. Ooh, ugh. Okay, I'm done. I'm done. Not hungry anymore. That's not just because I ate. Oh, do I need to... I think I need to switch my ads. I'm so sorry, guys. I did not adjust the ads. That's my fault. Sorry. Sorry, gentlemen. Okay. It's been updated. I'm sorry. You always apologize for ads as they're going on. Okay, I was looking at another tab. There.
It is the Bane Blade!
Yeah, I did get hit with the awful images. The people who can hear you don't care. Well, yeah, obviously. That's why I typed a message in the chat. We're fixing it. We're fixing it. So, we'll start here in a second, though. Once the ad is over, I need the reacting layout. Okay. Oh, man, but then we're gonna get another ad in 15 minutes. Oh, well. Okay. Okay. Hi. Welcome in. Northern Sales. And hello, Colonel. Yo. Yo. Okay. We should look at what our options are for this evening so we can figure out what order we want to watch things in. 1 second. Okay. Let me pull up the thing. Turn the background music off. We're gonna do doot. And just double check. Yep, that's the right one. Okay. We got options. All right. What are we feeling? So some of these are from last week that we didn't do. Where's the barking toad? Where did it go? Hello? The barking toad has disappeared. I don't know where it is. It's gone. No wonder Twitch is being weird. It's not showing me your messages. There we go. Yeah, my hair did get braided, but I don't know where the toad went. I guess I'll have to fix that. No, it wasn't updating on my screen. Hey guys, please don't spam. If I didn't read your message, like, you know, send a message. You can send it one more time, and after that, if I don't read your message, please stop spamming. Okay? Is the new 11th edition trailer on the list? We already watched that. I think the VOD is already up on the YouTube channel. So. Whoa! 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 Excuse me, Aurelia, are you cheating on your hubby Sanguinius with Dorn now? What? Why would you say that? Like, I'm sorry, huh? What makes you even think I'm, like, cheating on him, A, and B, with Dorn? Explain. Yeah, that is a side grade if I ever heard it one. I'm waiting. The screenshot in the background, this is not even my video. This is not even my video. Someone else made this video. And what? I can't look at a piece of Warhammer art without being accused of cheating? Look, this guy is also fully clothed. If he was like scantily dressed, you'd be like, are you cheating? You'd be looking at risque images of a guy. Fair. I think that's fair. I'm not, okay, it's not even, I'm not allowed to look at other Primarchs. I'm not even allowed to look at a Space Marine with all his clothes on. Make it make sense, man. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. Sorry, guys. I bumped my keyboard. Make it make sense. Isn't Dorn Miwa's man? Yeah, I would never take Miwa's man. Full clothes leaves everything up to the imagination. Yeah. Doesn't matter what a chick wears. It's either, ooh, like, I get to imagine it all in my head, or nothing is left to the imagination and I can think about it easier. Yes. The horny comes for us all. I understand. Good to see you, Crimson. Well, welcome in. We've got a lot of people coming in recently have been huge Space Wolf fans. So good to see all the Space Wolf enjoyers here. I figured the Emperor would have been Aurelia's next choice. Guys, you have to be a special kind of messed up that when your husband dies, you go for his dad. That's very much heresy. Very much heresy. I found you on YouTube, had to see you on Twitch. Well, thank you, Crimson Wolf. Welcome in. I hope you enjoy the stream. I enjoy hanging out with the Jolly Green Giants, the Salamanders. That's also a good choice. That's also a very good choice, Wild. Yeah, YouTube is very heretical at times. Anyways, we're gonna look at our options for today. We've got bolt gun types explained. Firearms expert reacts to Space Marine weapons. Your life as a blood angel. Rip Taco Bell. We are watching this one today. What an average meal like looks in the Imperium, and then I have a bunch of like random little videos if we had time. One I saw that I thought was funny: dog eats bean burrito in 1 second, and I'm like, well, I need to see that. I was looking up other things that I saw that I'm like, well, we have to watch that. It's very, very silly. Quick question, what are your thoughts on the thieving Blood Ravens? I like the Blood Ravens, they're cool. They're cool. Their home planet is very based. It's a very good name for their home planet. I will not elaborate. You have to look it up. So, anyways, what are we watching? What are we, yeah, we've got, do you want weapons or food or Blood Angel? What are we feeling? Because we got 2 weapon videos, 2 food videos. I was gonna pull up another one, but I forgot to grab another one. And then we have a Blood Angel one. Food. I got couple for food. No official poll or anything. We're going off vibes. Dog burrito. Oh, we might watch that one first. Dog eating the burrito. It's so dumb because normally I react to Warhammer things, but I was like, I'm intrigued of this 15-second video of a dog eating a bean burrito in 1 second. I think it has like a couple million views. If you're going off vibes, oh, it's not like we need actual vibes. It's just like really quick. I don't want to do an official poll. I think everyone's doing food. It's gonna change your life. I think it will. I think you're talking to the dog with the burrito about the burrito. Boo. Taco Bell. Okay, we'll start with the food and then we'll move to Warhammer, like weapons and stuff. Okay, we're gonna watch the dog eating the bean burrito in 1 second. Okay. All right. So this is from 17 years ago. Bubba loves his burritos. That's it. That's all that needs to be said. 56 million views. I think this is gonna be a good video. What do you think? Look at, yeah, that is a good boy. Let me check the audio really fast. Oh, Professor Keen, thank you for the super chat. It's not Dorn to be your side man, it's Vulcan. Oh, I read the first line and it got deleted by the mods. What did you say? What did you say? I'm so concerned. Were you okay, we're gonna have to fill in the blanks. What did he say? Is it because Vulcan is the largest Primarch and thus large everywhere? Is that why? Is that why? I think that's probably why. Because he has the biggest feet, obviously. Anyways, thanks for the super chat, and thank you for making me guess at what you said. Look. Wouldn't it make sense? Vulcan, being the largest Primarch, he would be, like, ideal because he's so tall. He's got big feet. No, okay, you can't say that, please. Let's keep it clean, YouTube. I know what he said now. Yes. I think do I say it? Do I say it? Do I say it? Do I say it? What is this? Oh, this is a dog that's gonna eat a bean burrito in 1 second. Vulcan has the best feet pics? Yeah, for sure, for sure. Not that I'm into feet or anything. Anyways, please. None of that, please. But it did make me laugh. It did make me laugh. Okay, let me check the audio. Okay, that's probably gonna be good. I don't want to watch too much of it. I want it to be, like, ready to go. All right. This dog is about to eat a bean burrito in 1 second. I gotta see it to believe it.
This is Bubba, and this is a bean burrito
Bubba.
from Taco Bell.
Ooh, based.
Let's see if Bubba wants a bean burrito. Gonna get it? Gone. Good boy, Bubba.
He literally ate that in 1 second. He is a good boy. Oh my goodness. I love Bubba. Dude. Dude, I like how it's most replayed here because everyone's trying to figure out. Okay.
Gonna get it?
No, oh, hang on. I want to. Okay, but that. Look at that. Look at that. The Glizzy Guzzler. Oh gosh, there's so many things I want to say. They're so inappropriate. I'm not gonna say it, but I'm like, I'm thinking it. Okay. Oh, okay, I'm gonna count how many frames before the burrito disappears. Oh my goodness. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh. Hang on. It was like the same. I can't. It's so funny. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. By the 7th frame, it's gone. I don't know. So I'm pressing the comma and period keys on my keyboard, and that's how you can do like little frames like that. I don't know the space between those, but that. Yeah, in the space of a second. He was not lying. Look, the whole time. I mean, this is not even false advertising. It is still within a second. That's insane. Yeah, 3 of them are the same frame, but like... Dude. I don't know what I was expecting, but I wasn't expecting that. I thought he was gonna like eat it quickly, not inhale it. Incredible. Good boy, Bubba. Good boy, Bubba. All right. We're gonna watch the Rip Taco Bell video because
This I threw a funeral for.
Let me give you context. One of my mods sent this to me, and I was like, I started watching it, and then I was like, wait a second, this is just too enjoyable. I'm a huge Taco Bell enjoyer myself, and I was like, you know what? Let's watch this. It's not Warhammer, but I am passionate about Taco Bell. We're gonna snooze the ads. Mods yell at me when the ads are gonna come back after we've used all our snoozes. The Emperor protect the good boy. Yes, he does. He does. He does. Did that dog eat all the Taco Bell? Is that why the Taco Bell, rest in peace? I don't think this dog ate the Taco Bell here. Oh no. Stop. Oh no. It's angry. Okay, let me check the audio and then we'll go.
This I threw a funeral for a Taco Bell that closed down near me.
Good. It looked good on my end, but I want to check with you guys first, and then we'll watch. We'll rip Taco Bell. I think I did watch the TTS short Squats Reborn. It's been a hot minute though. Good. I wish Taco Bell would bring back the double-decker taco. They did for a short period of time. For a very short period of time, they did bring it back. Yeah. So, you know, we can relate, Sideburned, because this was a couple years ago. I had recently discovered the double-decker taco, and I was like, dude, this thing is the best. It's amazing. Wonderful. And I went to a Taco Bell after like work one day because I was like, dude, I'm famished. I would like Taco Bell. And I had a bit of a drive left. So I was like, let's go get Taco Bell. And I went to order and I inquired about the double-decker taco, and they said they discontinued it. Like I had just found it like not like 2 weeks ago. And then they got rid of it. The cheesy gordita crunch is the next best thing to the double-decker taco. But I was very disappointed. First stream, I must ask, what's your favorite chapter? It is the Blood Angels. Anyways, I'm a huge Taco Bell fan. For those of you who are new and don't know too much about me, I love me some Taco Bell. And, yeah, so I saw this video, got sent to me by a mod, and I was like, you know what? We're gonna watch it live because I'm passionate. Very passionate.
This I threw a funeral for a Taco Bell that closed down near me, and then invited a bunch of people from my city to come mourn the loss of this great establishment. And then got on a plane and flew to China to live at a factory for a couple weeks while I made bronze Mountain Dew Baja Blast sculptures and bronze.
Look at this. Where can I get one of these? Where can I get one of these? This is amazing. Welcome to Queso's World with the Steakhouse Burrito. Thank you for the bits. It's a sad day. Look, I need this. I need this. I need one in like gold. Maybe not gold. That sounds expensive. See, modern art cannot compare. I feel, okay, you know what? Look, if we're going to think about this from like an art perspective, I'm an art connoisseur, modern art connoisseur, obviously. This depicts Taco Bell in a very profound way. Because you see, the Taco Bell is eternal, cast in metal. It will not wither away like it does in bag form. But here, it speaks to its eternal nature. How was that? Did we like that? Was that good? Sorry. Be a little tongue-in-cheek.
Taco Bell bags to commemorate this Taco Bell funeral. So
Beautiful.
Step one was to buy a $1,400 Taco Bell themed gravestone.
Wow.
And
was that with like...
once that was done...
I want to know if 1,400 with all of the words on it. That's expensive. Gravestones are expensive.
I cut off these pieces of metal and put them into these holes with this epoxy. Okay,
epoxy? Is that good enough?
And once that was done, I needed to figure out, okay, where am I actually going to have this Taco Bell funeral?
Okay.
So I needed to find a Taco Bell that had closed down recently. So I went on my local city's subreddit and asked people, and 16,000 people saw it, and 29 people commented. And of those 29, one person said
5258 California Southwest.
And so I went and scouted the location, and there was two big issues. One was it was behind a fence, and it had been abandoned, and there was no access to the property. And the second one, which is bigger, was after I did some online snooping, I found out that it wasn't actually a Taco Bell. It was a Thai place called the Thai Tan.
Oh, I almost thought it was going to be the Tahitian, which doesn't make sense.
But then I was looking at the building more, and I just
pun.
sort of saw a couple distinct architectural features. One being this archway, and the second being these terracotta tiles.
Oh yeah,
and
that is very distinct Taco Bell.
After doing some research on other Taco Bell locations, I found that both of those features were pretty common. And so we went on Discord and found this woman who was a Taco Bell historian, and
a Taco Bell historian? Give me her details. I must meet her.
And so we went on Discord.
All right. Time for me to friend this woman. How do you become a Taco Bell historian? See, these are important questions. Also, I see that the ad is happening right now, so we're gonna chat about how one becomes a Taco Bell historian while we wait. That's crazy. I would imagine you're just really into Taco Bell and you've done a lot of research. Okay, you guys want to know something funny? So at one point, I worked for like a food place. That's pretty, is pretty generic. So the said food place has like merch, and I always thought it was odd. I was like, man, I don't understand the people that like get merch from like their like food places. This was a couple years ago. I'm like, that's just kind of weird to me. It doesn't make sense. And then I realized like my hypocrisy, because I wear Mountain Dew shirts. I have a couple. And on top of that, I have a couple Taco Bell shirts. I'm a bit of a hypocrite. I just thought it was weird. I'm like, why would you get like a wallet or whatever that has like your favorite like fast food place on it? That's weird. And then Taco Bell entered my life, and I understand now. I think it was more I was being picky about the food place in question. It's like, there are better options. But I know a lot of people judge me because of my Taco Bell choices. She said, wearing the bell-shaped hat from Taco Bell. Look, I already said I was a hypocrite. I don't know. I don't need you to say it again. I know it sounds like something from the grimdark future, but they're actually epoxies that once hardened are the same density and durability of concrete. Oh, that's pretty cool. Crafting Gamer, thank you for informing me. I didn't know that. It just looked a little weird. Why does your model remind me of, I don't know how to say her name right, Melania from Elden Ring, I assume. The red hair and the gold. I get that a lot. I didn't know she existed, but I get that comment quite a bit. Is there a Taco Bell in the Imperial Palace? Of course. Of course. That's not hypocrisy, you just change your mind. That's fair. That's fair. I think, I'm trying to remember if at that time I did have like a Taco Bell shirt. I maybe had one. And like one Mountain Dew shirt. One of my Mountain Dew shirt I've actually had for like years. I got it before like I really, really, really liked Mountain Dew. Now it's perfect. Taco Bell in any ship you're traveling with, man, that would be nice. We get it in the purple and teal colors. Taco Bell is being run by the Adeptus Mechanicus. Why? It's being led by Taco Belisarius Call. Well done. Well done. Thank you, Professor Keen. That one is an appropriate super chat. Yay, you're back. Okay. Taco Bell historians. Wild.
And found this woman who was a Taco Bell historian, and she was able to blow the case wide open. She was able to go into the archives of the city through the public library and find the actual architectural drawings for that specific location. And yes, she was able to confirm that it was Taco Bell, which is good.
That's cool.
And it was started in the 1970s when burritos were only 19 cents.
My heart. A 19-cent burrito?
And it was in business for about 20 years until the 1990s, where a hepatitis outbreak happened and it closed shortly afterwards.
Whoa.
And after that, it just sort of faded into oblivion and people forgot about it.
Hello, what can I get for you today?
Hi, could I get a... Then I went back to my art studio and took a bunch of photos of this bag and Baja Blast Cup and then made a digital model of it.
That's
and
cool.
Then once I 3D scanned it, I was able to send it to a professional 3D modeler named Rajdip, who was able to make a final 3D version that had the logo on and everything. And then myself and Natty, my studio assistant, flew from the US to China. And we went to a rural part of China that specializes in bronze foundry sculptures.
But that's cool,
and
though.
we met the foundry owner named Mr. Lee and Echo, who was the salesperson, and she was the only person that sort of vaguely spoke English, so we did a lot of Google Translate on our phones. Wait, say that. So people think... Say that again?
People think that Mao Zedong will protect them in the heaven.
Oh, so Mao Zedong is God.
Yes, Mao Zedong is God.
So it was at this point...
Okay, but I did kind of know that, but that's not what I was expecting to hear in my wholesome Taco Bell video.
Walking around the factory, and there was just like a ton of Mao paraphernalia everywhere, and no one spoke English. And I was just starting to feel a bit out of place, I guess. And I think the Chinese factory workers felt the same way.
What are you doing here?
But this man here named D, he showed me the first step into making these bronze sculptures. And he didn't speak any English, and I didn't speak any Chinese. So he just sort of gestured with his hands. And the first step was to make this 2-part silicone mold.
Okay.
And he sprayed some mold release agent on it. And I scooped out some silicone.
Yeah, this reminds me of my dice making stuff.
Poured it over the top of this 3D printed Taco Bell bag. Then we reinforced it and then flipped it over and did the same thing to the other side. And once that was done, I went over and mixed up a bunch of clay
that's
to
complicated.
reinforce the silicone mold. Hey, I'm recording audio. Could I call you back? Okay, yeah. And after I put all the clay on, I smoothed it out. Explanation break. Explanation. To make this out of bronze, first you need to make it out of wax, and you can't just fill it up with bronze and have it be solid, because when the metal cools and contracts, it'll crack, and also it'd be extremely heavy and super expensive. And so to fix all these problems, you have to make a wax mold that's hollow. And to do this, we went to the wax room.
We're learning a lot today, guys. And yes, you should shave that.
This is Lee. She's sort of the LeBron James of this specific process, working with this wax. And of anyone in the whole factory, the women in the wax room thought it was the funniest that I came to China for several weeks to do what is essentially a blue-collar job. And I think they sort of looked at me like the pickup basketball player at the YMCA, but... Let me call you back, Reed. And so after we separated the two parts of the mold, inside was a perfect replica of the 3D printed bag. Ooh. And it was made out of wax. And Dee here, she showed me how to clean up the outside of the mold. So we spent several days just doing this wax process. One thing that was sort of interesting about our trip to China that I sort of learned as I was there was there's really specialized manufacturing. So one city would make lights and one city in China would make shoes. And the area we were in was focused almost exclusively on sculptures. That 15-second animation took me 6 hours and 34 minutes to do. About halfway through our stay there, Echo and Mr. Lee brought us out to lunch. And Mr. Lee insisted that I try this thing called spicy liquid, which I can only describe as...
I can never escape.
It's like if sriracha and gasoline had a child and then that kid was raised by some sort of industrial solvent. But I didn't want to be rude, so I had a bunch, and then later I found out it translated to knock down a donkey. And then when we got back to the factory, I realized I was completely torpedoed and tried my best to keep a straight face and act normal, but I was lighting things on fire by accident. It was a complete mess. And then halfway through I thought, maybe they didn't realize, but they definitely did realize. But everyone there, after working there for about a week, people sort of got used to us. And you may be wondering why or how wax turns into bronze.
This is so cool, because he could have just probably had someone just make this for him. But the fact that he came here and did that, I find that really admirable. That's really cool.
And so what we did is we dipped it in this slurry, and then we covered it in sand and dipped it in slurry and covered it in sand and kept doing that over and over and building up a thicker and thicker layer. And because sand has a higher melting point than bronze, you can pour the bronze into the cast and it won't just melt right through. And so we did that with the bags, also with the cups, and then at the end, this is what we were left with.
This is so cool. I would want to do this.
And then we loaded it up into this big crane and lifted it into this industrial oven. And it was at this point that I realized when it comes to sort of industrial safety in China, there basically is no worker safety. There's in the US, I'm used to OSHA, but halfway through you could see this guy almost getting crushed to death by this 1,000-pound oven lid. And the boss came over and yelled at him for about 5 minutes and then left, and it just didn't seem like a really big deal. And eventually we were able to get all the wax out of the molds and take them out. And then it was on to the actual pouring of the bronze. And this is where it started getting particularly sketchy. The furnace you turn on and it sounded like a dental drill. And even to turn on the furnace, you had to walk over these planks of wood between two molten vats of lava, essentially. And it was 350 amps running through this furnace, which is 700 times the amount of electricity that could kill you. And I look over the electrical panel on to our right, and the entire thing is...
No, I saw it earlier. It damaged equipment. Yeah. Oh my gosh, I'm nervous. This makes me anxious. Okay, you guys can't see it. I'm touching my face.
At some point had lit on fire and it was half melted, and they were just all right, whatever.
Yeah,
and, but
you can see. Look, it's all charred.
who was I to question it? I'd never done this before, and no one in the US would let me, pour the bronze. So I was like, all right, we're here. So we started loading up the bronze into the crucible, and after about an hour, it melted down completely. And we took a ladle and scooped out a little bit and poured it onto the ground, and then let it cool.
To check to see if it was ready?
And sort of looked at it and ground it down to make sure that it was ready to be poured. And
that's pretty
then
cool.
All the molds came out of this big oven, and this is when things started really becoming pretty hectic. We had to move really fast because the metal cooled really fast and the molds cooled really fast, and so it just started getting incredibly hectic really quickly. And then as soon as we started pouring, also all the molds started cracking open and exploding, and then Mrs. Lee, who was the factory owner's wife, would come in and try to patch all these holes with like a frosting pipette filled with clay, essentially.
What?
And when that didn't work, she would just scoop some clay on her hand and then use her hands to plug these holes. And she was wearing gardening gloves. And these molds were red hot, and there was bronze falling everywhere. And the ladles that we used to pick up the molten bronze, half of them had holes in them and were leaking out the bottom. And so you'd be trying to pour, and then be molten bronze falling right next to your feet. And no one's wearing any sort of protective shoes either. It's just all sneakers. And 10 minutes of incredible sort of organized chaos, and then just as fast as it started, it was over, and everyone went back to work like it was no big deal.
Dude, that's crazy.
After a couple weeks of working at the factory, I started getting my feet under me slightly more, and there was still some stuff as a foreigner that was difficult to comprehend. Like, intellectual property is very loose there, and so there'd be massive copies of the Wall Street Bull statues on the side of the road, or famous artwork would be in the hotel lobby. But slowly, as I spent more time around these people, I started, they were all just incredible craftsmen. And I think for someone who makes stuff for a living, I just couldn't help but be impressed with all these people. And there were some really good parts of China, and there were some really bad parts, and they sort of lived together in a weird way. Like with every
country.
It felt sort of similar to the US in that way. There's some really good parts and there's some really bad parts.
Yeah, every country's like that.
It just felt very different. And one of the most different parts was they boil their orange juice. And yeah, so that was different.
Ew.
But the longer I spent there, the more I enjoyed it. And we started unmolding all the castings, and then used an incredibly powerful pressure washer to get all the sand off of it. Then we went over and cut off all these extra bits called sprues that help us pour the bronze in.
I know things,
and
chat.
The statues were hollow at this point, and so we needed to close them up. And so we brought them over to the welding station, and I hit them with a big flame to get all the moisture off. And then this master welder named Lee, he showed me how to TIG weld all the bottoms onto the statues, and
welding is
we
cool.
spent a long time closing them up and making them into a solid form. And I'm not a great TIG welder, but with Lee's guidance, we were able to get through a bunch, and we welded on the straw as well. And Lee was a real pro, as is everyone here. They were all, incredibly great craftsmen. And we then moved on to polishing, and this was the process that took the longest.
Can I buy one of these?
240 to make, and it just...
Can I buy one of these? Oh, I think this video was made like 2 months ago. They're probably unavailable.
It took a very, very long time to polish all these. And this is what it looked like before and afterwards. And how much did the whole project cost? It was 95 grand. Taco Bell didn't sponsor it or anything. It was just, take money from past art projects and then funnel it into the next one. Just for those that are curious, it was 600 grand to do it in the US, which is kind of interesting. But after we had finished, we flew from China back to the US. And the first thing we did was put up these posters around the city to say, hey, there's a Taco Bell funeral. This is the date. You have to wear funeral attire, and you should bring some sort of offering.
That's funny. Me too.
What if no one comes? What if too many people come? How are we going to get through that fence? What if one of those street preachers comes and starts yelling at a microphone? Jesus, who rose again the third day. It was at this point in the process where I started completely spinning out. I had found out halfway through that someone else, 2 people, had done Taco Bell vigils, which is basically a Taco Bell funeral, and I just got sad. I felt uncreative.
No!
But then...
think about it. Only 2 people in the entire world came up with the Taco Bell funeral. Come on, that is unique.
I sort of pulled myself out of the funk and thought about what actually helped me was thinking about my favorite artwork, which is Reddit's r/place, which is every Reddit user gets to change 1 pixel. And it's sort of this, you build things on top of one another and you're sort of battling. And on my page, I say I'm a meme artist, and I feel like memes are just, taking something and then adding your own spin to it. So as long as you're adding something new or exciting or different to some sort of existing piece of media, then I think I'm okay with that. So
I like this.
I wanted to make one of those carrying things that everyone could carry the tombstone. And so I started welding up this frame on the welding table, then went over to the mill and drilled a bunch of holes in it.
He's got lots of stuff.
So that we could attach it to the outside of these big 2x6s, and then welded on the frame, and then painted the whole thing white. And once that was done, I wanted to hire doves to be released, but the place that we contacted, they were like, hey, our doves aren't trained well enough, and they just flew away. So we found another dove person, and we were able to hire them. Then the day of the event arrived finally, and Natty and I loaded up the tombstone holder, and we also loaded up the tombstone to the back of Natty's K-truck.
Perfect.
And it completely overloaded the weight capacity, but we were able to make it. We also loaded up a bunch of sculptures to give away as well. And when we arrived, I put on a yellow vest.
If only I had been there. Dude, he's like fully admitting to trespassing.
We also loaded up a bunch of sculptures to give away as well. And when we arrived, I put on a yellow vest and started getting access to the space that we needed. And I put on a yellow vest just to seem slightly more official. Then a bunch of volunteers came, and we were all dressed up in funeral attire, and we unloaded the tombstone. The tombstone weighed somewhere between 400 and 700 pounds, so it was super heavy. So we got the tombstone holder, and we tried lifting it with 6 people. I love the
dedication to the bit.
But we were unable to.
1 to 10, how heavy? 4 people? I'm pretty sure.
So we ended up getting, I think, 12 people just to practice, but we had to stop our practice quickly because the people started arriving, and this guy was the first to arrive. He was playing slow jams and had a Taco Bell bag on his head as a hat. And then slowly more and more people started arriving, including the woman with the dove. And we gave out candles to people, and a lot of people dressed up in Taco Bell attire, and other people just dressed up in funeral mourning attire as well. And then it's time to start the event. How do we look? Somber enough?
This is so dumb. I love it.
Hello. Thank you all for coming to this most somber of days. We are here to commemorate this building, which was once a Taco Bell, but is no longer. I would like to begin with a moment of silence. Thank you. This is serious. Bagpiper, you may begin.
They got someone to play the bagpipes. Not that one lady just wailing in the background. That one lady, she knows what her job is, and it is to wail.
Now we will be doing a 21 bell salute. Please come forward with the bells.
21 bells. Forgive me, I thought the 21, I mean, this is bells, but the regular 21 gun salute is, there's the 7 guns and it's only 3 shots. Is that correct? I thought that's what it was. I know, I'm being very picky about a meme funeral. I'm just curious, because that's what I thought it was, because I've been to Arlington National Cemetery, and by the way, incredibly, there is an air about that place. It feels sacred. It is so somber. And I remember I was walking around because I was visiting with family, and like you could hear, because they had funerals going on, you could hear the 21 gun salutes, and like it made my heart sink. It like, dude, it made me sad. Like, I don't know. It's very cool. Highly recommend you go. Anyways, sorry for being nitpicky about the bells for this meme funeral.
If you brought an offering to lay at the feet of this gravestone, please make a line over here. The winner.
Based parents That brought their kids.
Offering competition will receive a bronze Taco Bell bag to commemorate this event. A bronze Mountain Dew Baja Blast.
I crave.
Fake flowers with sauce in them. A small porcelain toilet. A ceramic handmade Crunchwrap Supreme. A doll of himself he won from a Taco Bell competition in 2014.
Okay.
Anointed custom.
Let me think, what would I have brought? I don't know. It's difficult. Baja Blast Space Marine. Ooh, that's a good idea. Oh, yeah! Yeah, Baja Blast dice. You're right. I would have brought those. 100%. You're right.
There were 50 tacos. Some people ate them, so maybe there's around 40 now. 38, 37, 35, 34, 33, 32, 31. Any more? You got the idea. They're all gone now. I will now decide the top three, and we will decide the winner via cheering. The mannequin of himself he won from Taco Bell.
Okay, that's good.
The handmade ceramic crunch wrap.
That one, yes. That one's a good one. That should win.
50 tacos that were eaten.
Oh.
First place goes to ceramic crunch wrap.
That one, yes.
Second place, totally normal mannequin.
Yeah.
Third place, 50 or whatever is left tacos.
That was smart. You get people to vote for you.
We will now be doing a crying competition. First, to shed a tear. Self-harm is not allowed. If you would like to participate, please come forward.
Look, I'm crying.
On your mark, get set, cry.
This is so stupid. I love it.
We have a winner! We will now...
She's been broken up with, I'm sure. This is... Oh my gosh.
With that, the event was done, but people stuck around afterwards and hung out and just chatted.
Are they releasing
and
the
took photos
dove?
of the tombstone. And beforehand, I was super nervous. I didn't know if anyone would even show up to this thing, but people really committed to the bit, and I'm just so grateful for everyone who showed up. So thank you.
I will keep this forever.
Oh my god. Dude, this is like heavy. Oh my god. Is it like metal? Wow.
And if you want a sculpture, I'm selling them on my website, sunnynobody.com.
Guys, guess how much? I'm gonna show you in a second. You should guess how. No, stop. No spoilers. No spoilers. Guess. And if you saw what someone wrote, don't guess. Guess. It's more than $300 US. More than $500 US. 1 second, I will pull it up here. $640 US. Add it to your throne? No way. That's cool, but like, no. How much is a weigh? Probably a lot. It's bronze. Do it. Does that include shipping? Probably not. So until the release ends, I don't know what that means. You get the cup and the bag. Dimensions. I don't want to add it to cart. I don't. Oh, here we are. Okay. You can get it in 4 interest-free payments. Ooh, until they're gone. Okay, because I was like, what? So, patinated bronze. Bag dimensions is 8 by 6 by 10 inches, 4 by 4 by 11. Yeah, variation in the patina. Yeah, that makes sense. Patina will change over time because it's bronze, yeah. International customers are responsible for any import fees, duties, or taxes upon delivery. Add it to the cart. No, it's a lot of money. They cost about $476 each to make. How do you know that? How do you know that? That's very specific. Yeah, when you compare it to VTuber models, it's not terrible. Yeah, but like still, it's a tax. See, I don't know if I could tax write off this. He said it was 100K, and how many did they say they made? How many did they? 210? You guys were paying attention. I was not. Okay. Show it on stream once, and you get the tax write. Oh, it's literally. Yes, it is right there. Yes, you're right. I am very pretty. It's tempting, to say the least. It's so stupid. Buy it, do an unboxing on stream. Oh gosh. It's so tempting, but I don't think I can swing that, guys. I don't think I can swing that. Anyways, let's see if there's anything else. I don't think there is. We have like 15 seconds.
They're only going to be available for 2 weeks. Yeah, if you want one, go grab them. 3, 2, 1.
Dang. This was like fortuitous that I saw this video and that I'm watching it now. Think of all the YouTube shorts and TikToks you can make with it. I don't know if it's worth... I don't think I could make enough money off the TikToks to justify crowdfund it. You see, I feel like I have like a moral responsibility to like not do that. Like, that feels irresponsible to me. Like, hey chatters, like, I would like you guys to fund for me to have a Taco Bell bronze statue. Okay. Just make your own version with resin. I would see, I wouldn't be opposed to that. If I said, hey, could I get like the file? Like the 3D file? Like I could make it out of resin, but I could not model that on my own. All you need is 13 people to donate $50. Man. So part of me is like, what if we made a poll, and if there was enough people to say I should crowdfund it, we'll do a crowdfunding. But like, we have 1 week, like less than a week. I know. So no, the crafting gamer, yes. If I genuinely make content out of what I purchase, I can count it as a tax write-off. 100%. I have done that with things before. Like, a lot of my stuff are tax write-off, like paint and stuff that I get. Yeah. I could totally make content out of this, but that is a huge, like, that is a huge expense. Like, it's different if I got some art that I was gonna post or provide for, like, members only, like, art, like, Imagine the bragging rights over Froggy. She's like, about Taco Bell. Okay. Mods, make a poll for me, please. Do we crowdfund for the bronze Taco Bell bag? Yes or no? Depending on what chat says, I'll do it because I feel weird about it, but if you guys don't think it's weird, then we'll do it. I feel weird about it. There, the poll is going up on the YouTube side. Do it, you coward. No, you can't say that. Okay? If you guys say it's not weird, then we'll do it. I feel a way about it, and I would like to preface that I feel a little odd doing that. Feels weird to me. Okay? And I'll think of something. If the crowdfunding ends up happening, I'll think of a way to get people their money back so that they don't feel gypped if we don't reach the goal. Okay? All right, we're going to watch the next one while the poll is going. How much time till an ad? Okay, we have 27 minutes. So we'll watch this next video before the ad comes. Okay. So this one is what the average... Hang on. What is the average meal like in the Imperium? So this is corpse starch related, naturally. Let me check the audio.
Corpse starch. Yes, that most
I got turned up a little bit, but I think we're good.
appetizing of grey nutritional
Dude, I really got to turn him up.
pastes. The crown jewel, as it were, of imperial cuisine. Lovingly rendered from only the finest recycled
Was that last little bit better? I kept having to turn it up. Today's headline, VTuber defends from home invader with bronze Taco Bell bag. Dude, it'd be a hefty weapon. Is this the Warhammer VTuber I've heard so much of? Yes, well, maybe. Maybe it could be me. It could be me. And potentially Bronze Cup, you know, I could like gank him with the straw, you know, the home invader. Okay, watching the video now. Let me know if the volume needs to be adjusted.
corpse starch. Yes, that most appetizing of grey
yummy,
nutritional
yummy
pastes. The crown jewel, as it were, of imperial cuisine. Lovingly rendered from only the finest recycled corpses the Imperium
the finest
has
corpses.
to offer.
Gray Matter. I had to stare at your name for a second. Gray Matter, thank you so much for the 5 gifted subs. I appreciate it. Thank you. What did I hear about the finest corpses? No, the finest corpse is Sanguinius. If you think about it. Oh no. Oh no. Okay. So the poll on YouTube and Twitch unanimously said, yes, do a crowdfund. Okay. I am going to think of something. Okay. Okay, how about this, guys? How about this? I need to workshop it. I need to like really sit down and think about it. But if we do a crowdfund for it, I want to give you guys an alternative if we don't reach the goal. Okay? So like my initial thought is, okay, if we don't reach the goal, we could do something like, oh, I try all the Taco Bell menu items or something like that. We can Okay, if you guys have ideas for alternate stuff, because I don't want to just like, I don't want there to be no reward if something doesn't happen. Well, if you guys have ideas, go to the Discord and put them in the live stream chat channel and talk about ideas there for alternate stream ideas if we don't reach the goal. Okay? So if you guys have other ideas, I'd love to hear them, because I don't just want to like... Yeah, I would, if we hit the goal, I will take care of taxes and shipping. That's fine at that point. I will happily cover it at that point. I'm just like, dude, like, oh. So, yeah, don't worry. So if you guys think of ideas, put them in the channel, and then we'll go from there. We're just gonna start from the beginning. Yeah, it would be a lot of food. We'll think of some ideas.
Corpse starch. Yes, that most appetizing of grey nutritional pastes. The crown jewel, as
I didn't know it was grey,
of imperial cuisine. Lovingly rendered from only the finest recycled corpses the Imperium has to offer. I'm sure that all of you will have heard of it. Some of you may laugh at the thought of it, others will be annoyed by how unreasonable it may seem and will argue that it should be left on the sidelines, while others still will find it a very rational and thematically appropriate use of limited resources.
It is
but it doesn't
thematic,
really matter,
that is true.
Because corpse starch is everywhere, right? It's the staple of the imperial, let alone hive-bound masses of humanity. A nutrient-rich miracle.
See, I thought it was just a military thing, and like maybe if you're super down on your luck as an imperial citizen.
Gloop served by the ladleful to the hungry, the obedient, and the too tired to care. Loyal citizens across the galaxy slurp it down daily, not because they enjoy it necessarily, but because that's what good citizens do when there's nothing else on the menu. It's a harsh galaxy, after all. Does this all sound about right? Well, I hope not, because it shouldn't. There's a tendency to picture the average imperial life through a lens of absolute, all-defining misery. It's a tendency, I find, that mirrors how most will picture the average life of one in the Terran Middle Ages. Rampant disease, rotting teeth, open sores and spoiled food, stink, flies, mud, obese lords and a starved populace, a world lacking in colour, everything being some shade of grey, brown or black. But like many stereotypes, this picture misses the mark. The Middle Ages, while definitely lacking many of the modern comforts that we all take for granted daily, were not entirely backwards, grim, bleak, and depressing. When resources or opportunity allowed, homes were painted and clothing was dyed. Colour had meaning, status, and symbolism. Personal hygiene wasn't unknown either. People of all classes commonly washed hands and faces in basins or rivers, especially in the mornings and before and after meals. Baths were taken, soap existed, so did drainage systems
soap definitely
and running
existed.
water in some cities, castles, and townships. Teeth were cleaned with splayed twigs stuck with cloves and padded with wool cloth. Bedding was changed regularly and often sprinkled with herbs like basil, lavender, and mint.
Basil.
Albeit the nice smells of such herbs only being a welcome side effect to a strategy aimed at keeping rats and mice away.
Oh, that's smart.
Most relevant for this video, medieval food wasn't just bland gruel either. Even the average peasant or serf had access to bread, stews, pottages, veggies like beans, cabbages, leeks, and meat.
That makes sense. I mean, yes, there's like a stereotype, and you know, stereotypes exist for a reason, but like, I do agree it is unreasonable to just assume that everything sucked all the time. No, there were like good things.
Like beef or mutton.
But I will say, and the point he's going to make is like, oh yeah, like the Imperium is like the medieval times. But I would argue, and obviously there's some stuff that's going to be like fine and chill in the like Imperium, but like I would argue that it is less likely to have chill moments or like just regular wholesome moments when it's a fictional setting, because the authors can do whatever they want. And does it make sense for everything to suck for everyone all the time? No, not necessarily, but it's more likely for it to.
Cabbages or leeks, and meat like beef or mutton. In both cases, in the life of the average imperial citizen and that of the average medieval person,
she's cute.
The reality of daily life and
Did you guys see that, or was that just me? No, that was Shrek. I was like, what? What is Shrek doing here?
Daily life, and especially diet, is far more complex than the popular image or stereotype will suggest. So what is true for the average medieval peasant in this instance is just as true, if not more so, for the average Joe Imperium. Corpse starch does exist. It is a thing. It is a processed, nutrient-dense paste made from human remains and distributed or issued across some parts of the Imperium. But it is not the Imperium's primary food source. Yes, it is mass-produced. Yes, it may be distributed widely, particularly in overpopulated hive worlds and war zones. Yes, there are entire planets whose sole function is the reclamation and rendering of the dead. Yes, it likely forms a staple for lowest classes in some regions, and it may be included as a base ingredient in broader ration packs, either stored for civil emergencies or issued to militia or frontline forces. But this does not make it universal, nor does it make it prevalent enough to be considered anything close to the average meal for Joe. The Imperium is not made of billions, it is not even made of trillions, it is made of quadrillions. Quadrillions of humans spread across a star-spanning empire of near incomprehensible scale. For corpse starch to truly be the primary foodstuff of humanity, the required infrastructure would be staggering, if not total. Agri-worlds would not be growing grain, algae, living meat, or other vat-grown proteins and such. They would instead be planets covered in continent-sized charnel pits, harvesting the human dead on a nightmarish industrial scale just to keep the living fed. Oceans of slurry, fields of stacked corpses, and this wouldn't be a gross outlier either. Instead, it would have to be the baseline
very
norm.
wide scale, yeah.
In fact, I would say that a civilization built to rely on variants of corpse starch would almost definitely require more recycled human corpses than the same civilization could hope to produce. Maybe someone can do the math on this. But this is not what we see. Because
that's a very good point. I didn't consider that.
Corpse starch is not the foundation of imperial nutrition. It is not a household staple. It is not even that normal. It is instead a stopgap, or a supplement, or a compromise. It is what's used when other food sources are cut off, too expensive, or too far away to matter. It is food, quote unquote, when there is no other food on the table. Corpse starch's exaggerated place in the community imagination likely comes down to novelty, and maybe more than that, to language. It's a term that has slipped into common vocabulary the same way military slang often does. Just as soldiers have long referred to disliked rations as dog biscuits, vomlets, or sea rats, the label corpse starch may be thrown around by imperial forces as shorthand for anything bland, suspect, or just gross, regardless of its actual ingredients. The simple truth is that food in the Imperium is wildly diverse and hard to define. And yes, I hate that I have to keep repeating this in every single one of these average life videos, but get used to it because it's annoyingly true. The Imperium is made up of a million isolated and often wildly disconnected worlds. There are few meaningful averages to create or draw from. But we can still extrapolate, we can still look at patterns and look at the sources, and in doing so, I'll always do my best to paint the most accurate picture that I can.
Giant water bug powder. Yummy, yummy, yummy.
So let's take a societal approach to this. Let's go from the top down, looking at exactly what's being shoveled into the face holes of every tier of Imperial society. We'll start, of course, with the highborn, the nobility and the ruling class. Watchers of the Throne gives us some good insight to get us started. All of it was real. Fruits conveyed from the farthest reaches of the segmentum in cryotanks. I felt the tight berries burst in my mouth as I chewed. One of those alone would have
Is this like a Denethor POV?
bought a hive spire on a lesser world, but we were on Terra, at the top of the pyramid, and barely gave it a thought. And books like The Iron Kingdom, Apocalypse, and Sea of Souls describe similar bounties and feasts for those of the upper strata. Fine meats, luscious fruits and vegetables, venison and gravy, crustaceans, processed grains, slices of native cheese. This is what passes for ordinary among the elite. Genuine, often exotic meats, not vat-grown protein or offcuts of grox. They get the rare cuts, the best cuts, hunted or well-raised, frozen fruits and veggies shipped frozen from distant agri-worlds or grown locally in manicured, carefully monitored farms and climate-controlled biodomes. Nuts, berries, wine, artisan cheeses, spiced
I knew
sauces,
all of this for the nobles. This makes sense.
Hand, plated in
I'm really
silver,
curious about the
paired
average
with
guy,
priceless
though.
vintages, more expensive than most dare to guess. And for a better understanding of this, maybe pause here and have a go watching my very own video on the life of the average noble. Link in the description. In short, the highborn eat real quality food. Not paste, not bars, not bricks.
Right, yeah, because you're rich.
Actual fruit, actual bread. It's grown, harvested, frozen, and ferried in from off-world, almost certainly guarded by armed escorts, just so it can be dumped on a plate in front of someone who may not even finish it, let alone consider the cost of the priceless bounties that they are inhaling.
It's crazy.
A delicious resource that most would kill for, wasted on the overindulged and the disinterested. And this is a real power move, honestly. The ability to dine on fresh, high-quality food in a galaxy propped up by ration bars, nutrient sludge, and scavenged scraps is a deliberate outward-facing display meant to remind everyone beneath you that you are not one of them. You are above them.
Yeah, that's usually how it goes.
Because in a civilization where most people can't remember the last time they tasted something that wasn't shelf-stable or synthetic, eating fresh fruit, real meat, and imported delicacies is a political statement. Whether actively recognized or not, it's just another weapon in the arsenal designed to keep them elevated and to keep the jackals from nipping too hard at their heels.
I agree.
But that's just
night houses would definitely fit this.
The tippy top. Let's keep going down. While the Astartes may be satisfied to fuel their transhuman bodies with nothing.
Yeah, they have like the regular stuff, but there's definitely excerpts of like Fulgrim's men like having really good cuts of meat. Even like the Blood Angels have like wine and stuff like that.
More than amino porridge and triglyceride gel, the wider military apparatus of the Imperium, namely the Astra Militarum, operates with a broader culinary range, especially when rank and status come into play. Officers of the Guard and the Navy Commissars, along with senior arbites, enjoy privileges that, when supply lines are stable, bring them sort of within the realm of noble dietary standards.
Yeah! Oh man, I was pissed off. In Dan Abnett's First and Only, there was this... I think it was the very beginning of the book, this one general, he was like overseeing this entire like segment. There's like a huge war going on, and it was rough. They had been like fighting for a long time, and it talked about how this guy's like, I want a fresh like pot of coffee. And, I forget what he did specifically, but he was, like, so flippant about it, because the guy who was, like, delivering a message to him was like, dude, like, they hadn't seen, like, fresh stuff like that in a long time, and the guy just treated it so, like, callously. It pissed me off.
Standards. I'm talking about mashed eggs and grilled ham with tough toasted chunks of wheat bread. I'm talking about crisp bread and stewed berries, smoked fish and palavine pastries. Hot meals, texture, taste, potential for real ingredients, occasionally even fresh. This is what rank buys you in the Imperium.
Yes.
Not just command over squads or regiments, but a seat at a better table, in a better mess. Even if some or most of it is preserved, dehydrated, tinned or frozen, it still passes as a proper meal by the time an officer would see it, often prepared by actual trained cooks, or at least by servitors and machines designed to imitate them. That said, even distinguished officers have to tango with ration packs eventually, especially when things go sideways, but we will get to that very soon. For the rest, for the average guardsman, well, things aren't so exciting, but they're still definitely a few steps above plain corpstarch levels. Rations of varying quality are usually the go. Most guardsmen make do with these alone, depending on supply chains, campaign location, and how far down the Munitorum's priority list their regiment sits. But even then, rations are often supplemented by whatever a soldier can scrounge, steal, trade, or otherwise acquire on the side. On world, that might mean local wildlife, edible plants, fruits, roots, or whatever the
regular
native population
scavenging
isn't using or can be convinced to part with. Off-world, it's whatever you can beg, borrow, or smuggle. A fistful of stolen spices, a cut of contraband meat, or a dash of something unlabeled. After all, we must remember that the finest brews of rot gut are said to owe their kick to a healthy splash of thruster coolant. Anything to add taste, texture, or weight to the otherwise predictable monotony.
Don't drink that. No, don't do that.
These meals, Imperial Guard ration packs, can range from bland nutrient bars and dense carb bricks to more elaborate ready-to-eat packs and tins filled with things like variations of gelatinous marbled meats and dehydrated veggies, rice, or other grains. Company cooks will do their best to improvise what's on offer when they can, but quality varies and most rations are, of course, designed to last and to feed, not necessarily to impress. One of the most well-known entries in the Guard food catalogue is slab, a heavily processed, protein-dense meat substitute explained well in Against the Grain, as well as the short story of their lives in the ruins of their cities, which we will look at in a sec. Slab is essentially engineered for one purpose: to keep you alive. Cheap to produce, hard to spoil, easy to transport, very unexciting. Slab is pretty gruesome stuff. Pressure treated down from any and all nutritional sources by the Munitorum, it has no discernible flavor apart from a faint mucousy aftertaste. And
I thought he had just misspelled musky. Mucousy aftertaste. Ew.
It looks like grey-white putty. In fact, years before at Schola Progenium on Ignatius Cardinal, An acquaintance of Gaunt's had once kneaded some of it into a form that authentically resembled a brick of plastic explosive, complete with fuses, and then carried out a practical joke on the master of the Scholar Arsenal that was notable for both the magnificent extent of the disruption it caused and the stunning severity of the subsequent punishment.
Stunning severity. Honestly, that you would get punished big time if you did that. So the fact that it is stunning severity.
Slab is the bureaucratic machine that is the Imperium, doing the bare minimum to keep a body standing and shooting. You flavor it with whatever you can, then you shovel it down and hope it stays put. And that's to be the expectation for most of your fighting life. And yet, this is still a step above what much of the wider population
the Bane
gets.
Blade.
Because while the Guard at least has the excuse of strategic and military value, that being trained soldiers needing fuel to fight the Emperor's most righteous wars, the working classes and those below them do not get the same consideration. Lower middle hive labourers, manufactorum, drones, serfs and other workers, they get what's available, what's issued, what's cheapest to make, easiest to move and longest to store. They get whatever they can afford to get their hands on in whatever environment they find themselves in. But still, here too there is variety, born less from abundance and more from necessity. In Sea of Souls, we are told that the average hive dweller in the Imperium subsists on protein sludge and the occasional carb slab.
Ooh.
A pretty rough picture.
See, carb slabs, that's just bread to me.
Probably in line with what most imagine, and likely very much accurate when scaled across the population density
that makes sense.
of most hive cities. Such food options
it does sound like hardtack.
to keep a
100%.
worker just functional enough to report to shift and not die or pass out on the way there or during. But the Hollow Mountain mentions commonplace protein sticks, no doubt some variation of real or artificial jerky, while Bloodlines from the Crime series makes reference to a kebab shop of sorts.
I was gonna say
serving
kebabs.
Blackened piles of heavily fried meat onto oily looking flatbread. Nothing particularly elegant or refined, definitely not regulated and likely very questionable in origin.
Just don't question it. Just don't.
Goes for a handful of credits or thrones and packs the belly with something that might not be good for you, but it counts as food all the same and makes it worthy for a slap or two. These are meals made in the margins, perfectly suited to hive worlds, forge worlds, and maybe the more run-down corners of civilized worlds.
Okay.
But let's take a step away from the city and look out to the fields of agri-worlds.
Oh, agri-worlds probably have it a bit better.
And dependency on imports is lower. Most of the harvest is shipped off-world under strict tithe obligations, but what's left behind, the scraps,
that honestly great place
can
to be,
often
I think.
support a small regional diet. Well, on the less hellish worlds of this classification anyway.
Fair, yes.
Roasted zorn cob, boiled durner beans, alpaca stew, and taizenberry pie.
That sounds good.
That's the favourite meal of the special wide-eyed agri-world farm boy in 15 hours, and it sounds alright to me.
It sounds great.
Please don't ask me how things end for that same farm boy. But even here, even on the bottom rungs of rural simple living, there's still further to fall. And there's one more tier we need to look at, the true bottom. The underhive and the outcasts, freaks and forgotten who scrape by within it. As is explained in Necromunda, Gangs of the Underhive. Food in the underhive rarely holds any joy. Most meals consist of corpse starch or nutri-slime, supplemented with synth fats and vitamin shots. As such, anyone who can produce real food from the local flora and fauna can expect a steady stream of credits. This is where corpse starch takes center stage. not as a galactic staple as you may hear elsewhere, not as some grand solution to feeding quadrillions, but as a product of last resort. In the underhive, where infrastructure is broken and logistics are non-existent, corpse starch becomes the standard, not because it's efficient, not because it's celebrated, but because it stores well and it doesn't go off. It's mixed into Nutri-Slime to give it weight, stirred into recycled broth to add bulk. It's something to be supplemented with glowing fungus, questionable algae, or juicy rodents, or juicy man flesh. Down in the underhive, food is what can be.
See, they say juicy man flesh, and you're like, ew, you're supposed to eat that, but I'm like, juicy man flesh. Like, I'm just thinking of muscular sanguineous.
Found, killed, or scraped off a wall. Nutritional value is often secondary to whether or not it will kill you outright, and if it doesn't, well, then it's good enough to risk eating. And on that note, let's go back to the central point of this video. What is the average meal in the Imperium? There isn't one. Thanks for watching. Nah, I'm just joking. It's true, there is a wide variety of food for all levels of Imperial society. But if we keep population density front of mind, then we're forced to accept that the average life in the Imperium likely plays out on a hive world. And so we are somewhat forced to go back to that quote from Sea of Souls. The average hive dweller in the Imperium subsists on protein sludge and the occasional carb sludge.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's it. That's the average. You may get a slice of fried meat, probably grox or some form of rat if you're lucky, industrious, or otherwise well off. You may stretch some flavor out of a scavenged root, some protein sticks or smuggled powder, but for most people in the Imperium, the average meal is to be sludge and slabs. At least it's not corpse starch, hey?
Yeah.
Anyway, thanks for watching. Dystopian Chimp out.
It could be worse. It could absolutely be worse. I didn't put the last video in there, and I'm gonna read your guys' messages. Sorry for the delay. Oh, Average Randy, thank you so much for the 5 gift subs. Thank you so much. And Ricky, thank you for the super chat. We made a killing in the Rogue Trader RPG selling salt and shoes to the guard who'd been fighting on a world for over a year. Oh, dude. Dude, that's smart. That's really good. And then we have... Fun fact, corpse starch has very little corpse and it's mostly leftover parts from food processing and any plants, including wood. It just adds to the grimdark when you add corpse to it. We'll let the ad go here in a minute, and then we'll chat and before we start the next video. The Imperium feeds me blended cardboard. Tasty. You're getting your fiber at least. You're getting your fiber at least, PK. Thank you for the super chat. What's the vibe today? Well, you missed the vibe earlier. We were here, Possum. Watch this. This dog eats a bean burrito in 1 second. It is not false advertising.
This is Bubba, and this is a bean burrito from Taco Bell. Let's see if Bubba wants a bean burrito. Gonna get it? Gone. Good boy, Bubba.
Thoughts? Thoughts on Bubba? He's just like me for real. I know, right? Well, I mean, I don't know about you, but for me, yes. Yes, I love Taco Bell. Good boy, Bubba. Didn't even taste. I mean, does he really need to? And Penumbra Skeletor, thank you for the 9 months. The corpse starch video was making you hungry. That is concerning. That concerns me a little bit. No thoughts, only nom. Yeah, that's also me. Am I a Tyranid? Maybe. Maybe. Yeah, I wouldn't recommend feeding your pets Taco Bell, but that was funny. Do you love Taco Bell enough to get that $600 bag or whatever it is? Oh, you were there for that. You were there for that, were you? The chat. No, I wasn't there for that. Did you find it? Dude, we watched the video about the guy who basically made the statues, and I was talking to chat because chat was like, you should get it. And I'm like, guys, that's a huge expense. Like, writing that off is like crazy. Like, I don't know if I can swing that. They're like, what if we crowdfunded it? I'm like, guys, I am not going to set up a crowdfund. Like, that makes me feel awkward. It makes me feel weird. But they're like, you should do it anyways. And I'm like, guys, this is weird. And they're like, and I was like, fine. If you guys, I'll make a poll. If you guys think I should crowdfund it, like, I will consider it. And I will see if I could set something up. And they voted that I should do a crowdfund for it. So I'm still hesitant. So I'm not sure if I really want to do it, but the people crave. It was very one-sided on both Twitch and YouTube. It was like 82% in favor on YouTube, and it was about the same. So, you know, I'm still hesitant about doing it, but I want to have like a reward for if it doesn't happen, like if we don't hit the goal, because then I feel bad. Anyways, yeah, dang, the fact that you weren't here and you're like, are you gonna get the bag? I was like, he knows. He knows. No, see, Dr. Leon, that's like, I don't want anyone to feel obligated to do something like that. It feels weird. It feels weird. Did your Stream Elements thing go through? Wait, hang on. Sorry, it doesn't. Oh, I turned off stuff. Hang on. Oh, my phone's not here. Actually, guys, give me 1 second. I left my phone in the other room, which shows me all my emails. I probably would have gotten an email for it. Katrina, 1 second. Guys, I will be right back. I know the ad just ended. Terrible timing. Terrible timing. I'll be right back. You guys talk about which video you want to watch next. Bolt gun types, firearms expert reacts to Warhammer 40k, or your life as a blood angel. Those are the options. I will be right back. Sorry. Brother, what the heck? Chat. I just opened up my phone. I am so sorry. My phone was in the other room and I keep an eye on it for emails. Dude, this mad lad donated $300. What the actual heck, man? Thank you so much. I'm so sorry that I didn't see it earlier. I like saw your message during one of the videos and I'm like, I'll have to go look in a second, but my phone wasn't with me. Half a forged Taco Bell bag. Dude, thank you so much. What the heck? Bro. I'm so sorry I didn't see this earlier. I would have been I would have been properly excited about it when it happened. Not the, oh, we're halfway there. Dude, okay. We're halfway there. Okay, chat. I see. I will... Should I set it up now? Or no, we should watch videos at the next ad break. I'll set it up. How about that? Thank you so much, Katrina. I appreciate it. That is insane. Incredibly generous of you. Dude, what the even heck, man? Holy moly! All right, I guess we're doing it. I guess we're doing this now. Wow. Okay. Blah. This is wild. Dude. Okay. Let's see. Expert reacts. That kind of seems like the vibe. That's the vibe. We're getting serious here. Let me pull that up. This is gonna be good. I'm excited. It was my idea for. I mean, I'm not gonna require people if they come up with the idea.
This is Jonathan Ferg.
Oh, I didn't need you to play right there. I'm not gonna require anyone to come up with an idea like you have to fund it. But I really appreciate it. I hear there's a video of a dog that eats a bean burrito in one bite. We should watch that one. Maybe we should watch that one. Wow. Okay. Holy moly. All right. Well, actually, hang on. You know what? I think I'll just set it up now. One sec. I'm just gonna put it up now. While I'm thinking about it, before I get too tired, it's making me log in again. One sec. I've got two-factor authentication. Okay. Let me pull up the picture. Hang on. Hang on. Take a screenshot. I hate this. They updated the snipping tool and it is the dumbest thing ever. I hate it. I hate it with a burning passion. Can someone talk to Microsoft and say they did a dumb thing? Are you for real? Ugh. Dude, this is annoying. I don't like this. I would like to undo this update that they just did. I can't. Oh, I don't like. Can you guys hang on? We're just gonna be. Can you guys see anything when I go to like take a screenshot? Because I'm like super paranoid that things are popping up. I just liked this one. When you started stream today, did the thought of crowdfunding a forged Taco Bell bag? No, it didn't. It didn't. I was not expecting this. I'm going to get another program because the snipping tool used to be fine and then they updated it and it's the dumbest thing ever. Taco Bell. There we go. Let me go back to this. There. Okay, 1 second. I am doing this on another monitor. Forgive. Forge Taco Bell. Sculpture. Click to upload image. Okay. I will cover shipping and tax. Half of this has already been covered. Must be met by 6/12. That gives us an extra day. Yes. Proceed. There. It's up. It's up on the throne page, so now it is officially live. Hopefully they don't sell out first. Yes, this is true. Why Taco Bell though? Because Taco Bell is great. Yo quiero Taco Bell. All right, now we're gonna watch the video. Thank you for your patience. I was just like, I'm just gonna do it now while I'm remembering and thinking about it. No way. Thank you for, I don't want to dox you. I don't want to dox you, but thank you for the individual that gave 15 on PayPal. I appreciate it, man. I'll do that towards it. Are they in your country? Yeah, they're the United States. I'm pretty sure. He said his hometown was Seattle, so there's that. That makes things a lot easier for sure. That makes things a whole lot easier. Okay. Almost all cool things come from the US. That's true. And indirectly China, because a lot of things are made in China nowadays. But we're not talking about that. We're talking about weapons. Let me check the audio here.
Ferguson, the keeper of
Was that good?
Firearms and Artillery at the Royal Armouries Museum in the UK.
Do we like audio on that one? That seemed fine to me. So audio good. Do I need to refresh my Twitch? Sometimes audio good. Okay, cool. Seems fine. Cool. All right, I'm making sure I have, if there's anything that pops up in my email, I will see it, because now I have my phone in here, and I can look at it a lot closer. Dude, I've got a lot of notifications. Goodness, okay. Let us continue.
This is Jonathan Ferguson, the keeper of Firearms and Artillery at the Royal Armouries Museum in the UK, which houses a collection of thousands of iconic weapons from throughout history. And on today's episode, we're looking at the armaments of an Astartes in Space Marine 2.
We have a sling swivel, a huge sling swivel. Don't know why. These guys do not use slings as far as I've ever seen.
They do. I can take the opportunity to show something to the camera. See?
Oh, yeah.
Ooh.
Well, to be fair to me, I did say use slings.
If there are any games or guns you'd like to see on the show, be sure to let us know. And if you have any questions for Jonathan or the Expert Reacts team, leave them in the comment section and they may be answered in a future episode.
Cool.
Right, over to Jonathan. Let's see how long I can resist chiming in about 40k lore.
Challenge impossible.
Reloading weapon.
Well, that looks like a bolter to me.
Bolt rifle now, technically.
Oh.
So what makes that a rifle, Dave? Can you clue me in there?
The Primaris versions of the bolt weapons, the scale's bigger, they're visually a bit different, and bolt rifle was just, I think, the naming convention to differentiate it from bolter, bolt gun. This is bolt rifle.
I mean, it clearly has a scope fitted to it at the moment, with what looks like Picatinny rail, sort of, in front of the scope mount. So when I saw the rail-looking things in the previews and rolled my eyes slightly, because I like the sort of traditional 80s not railed aesthetic. But it looks like, at least with this one, they fitted the scope straight to the gun, and whatever is in front is some sort of cooling thing or something. Don't know. And we see that great big magazine catch on the right hand side, which looks like it slides down to drop the magazine. And I know Space Marines are kind of genetically engineered hulking guys, but there's no way his finger's long enough to hit that magazine catch. So I need to see the reload.
That's fair. This is what I thought they were going to do with the other video where they talked about the armor. This is the stuff I'm looking for.
To see how he accomplishes that. There's that curved magazine, which I think I mentioned before.
Oh, wow.
In the original game.
That's
Looks
so
right.
Cool.
Obviously the old models had the curved mag. I don't know why it would be curved. Looking at the rounds,
insane the
size. Probably be straight or straighter, at least. Overall, looks very boltery. Doesn't have a stock. So for me, a rifle, however you define it, and who knows whether the balls on these things are rifled or not. I have to watch out for rotating projectiles or not. Although that could be rocket exhausts, like a gyrojet.
You said the word. Did a Warhammer video and we've said the G word.
I know. Well, we've been here before, haven't we? But the gyrojet is a rocket projectile gun. But these things have cased ammunition, so it's kind of some sort of propellant charge to get it on its way, and then a rocket assist. So it's like a shoulder-fired, or in this case, hand-fired RPG type system in a way.
Hand-fired because they're massive boys.
I will just comment on the gigantic front sight. The front sight is more robust than the sight protector. You could literally just have the front sight sticking up like a monolith, and you could drop this thing on it, and I don't think it would do any damage. Not to mention, this doesn't seem to have a rear sight. Maybe it's removed and replaced with the scope. While I'm at the scope,
oh, that's a good point. I didn't think about
20th
that.
Century. There's nothing very sci-fi about it, but it does look. It fits with the overall look of the gun.
When I noticed that the rounds are modelled in the magazine, I just immediately thought, "There's no way the 25 are fitting there."
No,
that's going to be.
That's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You get 6. Maybe you get 7. No, you get 6. Yeah, this 25's not fitting here. What are we talking about?
In my next comment, actually, right, we have a number of issues here. First of all, this looks amazing. That muzzle flash looks great. The gun in motion, the cartridge case.
Dude, I like this guy already. He's thinking about muzzle flash, and he's like, is that accurate? Dude, this guy, I like him.
He's ejecting from the gun, all looks cool. But the ejection port is about 50% the size of the cartridge case that's coming out of the gun. It has a very fragile-looking, skeletalized cocking handle and a very small ejection opening. The magazine looks like it would fit maybe 5 of those rounds in a single stack. Great big base plate on it as well, which is ribbed for somebody's pleasure. There's quite a bit of detail, though. I always think of bolters being, well, I think of them on the little figures, and people put a lot of detail in, of course. But I think because this is larger than life, kind of filling my screen as I look at it, and there's some good, there are screws, there's wear on it, good bit of texturing. Feels more like a real thing. It's a very obvious thing to say. This is a modern Space Marine game. Of course, it's going to look more like a real gun. But I think it's a challenge for the artist to make it not look just like a cartoon gun. So I think it's kind of industrial and gritty enough to be believable as a weapon of some kind. It's just when you look at it in detail, it's kind of never going to hold up as something that would function in the way that we're familiar with.
That makes
There's
sense.
a reload there, and there's a nicely modeled magazine body with lips. This is kind of unrelated, but it looks a little bit similar. It's not as wide. This is more like a Saiga magazine or something. Very pronounced feed lips on there. No visible follower in the empty magazine to push the rounds up. Way more detail than we've seen in a Warhammer 40k firearm to date. Do we know what that great big hammer-looking thing is on the back of this? And I think some of the other guns.
I don't know specifically what function it serves on the gun.
But it's clearly not involved in the operation of this rifle. And it doesn't move.
Aesthetic.
I don't think it's some sort of sling loop, which would be the other option for something like that. I have to assume that's taken from the figures as well. Okay, this is a fancy bolt rifle with a side saddle mount for some fancy looking rounds.
Yeah, I think those are just like emotional support rounds. I don't think you're chucking those in there unless you're in dire straits. Emotional support round.
As well. Okay, that thing on the back is starting to look like some sort of maybe disassembly, how you disassemble it for cleaning, maybe? I'm normally allergic to things like charms, as you know, but I think in this universe, festooning your gun with nonsense feels like almost essential.
I love how the skin on this one. Oh, I love the white and the gold. Ooh.
Age of your career. All right, we've got a great big rotating looking coggy thing on the top. Nice view down the barrel. I can see the projectile down the definitely not rifled barrel, by the way. That's nice. Oh, we've got a shot there. with the bolt partially to the rear, having fired a shot.
Dude,
That's
this
cool.
is great.
The case is already out of
here.
the gun, though, before the bolt is fully open. So not only is the ejection port too small, the bolt hasn't even come back far enough to eject the case. So we've got a little bit of fudging going on there, if it's possible.
Is this me or is that them? Hang on. He's like a little fuzzy, and I don't know if that's me or if that's them.
Hasn't even come back far enough.
Okay, it's them, not me.
Okay, so we've got a little bit of fudging going on there. If it's possible to tweak that, that'd be great, but incredibly minor in the scheme of things. Do we know where they're storing their magazines? I know we mentioned that last time.
Yeah, in the lore, they maglock things to parts of their armor. That's why you see the pistol just against the thigh.
That makes sense as far as that goes. However, these guys are equipped with old-fashioned leather pouches, which would be absolutely impossible to manipulate with giant armored gloves on.
Like
very much in the tradition of Batman or Deadpool, they just have great big leather pouches. Well, not necessarily leather. Great big pouches around their waist that never get used for anything. Okay, Batman sometimes get used for things before anyone's.
I was going to say, Batman totally
This
would.
thing has that, I think we saw that in Space Marine 1, the sort of drum-type magazine. Almost looks more like a belt box from something like a stoner, but seems to function more like a drum. There's that big strip of rail-looking stuff on the front again. I've yet to see anything locked onto that. That just seems to be...
aesthetic.
Greeblies. This weapon has that rotating cog-type breech, which is interesting.
Oh, wow, I didn't notice that animation.
This is the auto rifle, so its purpose is bigger magazine, higher rate of fire, but it's the auto rifle version that has the spinning piece.
Doesn't seem that much higher than the normal equivalent. I mean, in theory, a great big spinning thing on the top of your gun isn't ideal in terms of getting it caught on things as you move around to prevent it from operating. It does kind of remind me of, I mean, obviously there are rotating breech firearms like the candidates for the next generation squad weapon. A couple had rotating breeches. The G11 has a rotating breech in the other direction. Kind of reminds me of the old rotary feed on the original Dushka machine gun, but it's pretty different. Okay, this is interesting. An underbarrel revolver grenade launcher?
Yeah.
That's cool. And it's reminding me very strongly of something that I can't put a name to.
Was it the 612 shotgun?
Ooh, yes, because that was modular. Nice
one. That's
yeah, so
cool.
that was a design for a revolving shotgun, and you could take off the grip stock entirely and fit it to the bottom of a rifle. Don't know if that's the inspiration here, but there is something like this in the real world. Albeit, I don't know if anyone's actually used it. To be fair, it's the sort of thing someone could have come up with independently, and this might be news to them. The cylinder is fluted like a revolver cylinder, which is interesting. That's obviously a deliberate choice to make it look like a revolving pistol cylinder. I'm guessing the rounds are basically giant bolt gun rounds, or are they more like traditional 40mm rounds?
Yeah, they even bloop.
Yeah, they do. It's a very M79-y bloop we're getting there. It's kind of like having a milk or grenade launcher on the bottom of your M4 or whatever.
They never learn.
So another admittedly very similar gun here. Now, I'm not going to make that a criticism because I don't think they should be changing too much from the general bolter form factor, because from my limited knowledge, that's kind of your main gun type. So I'd rather see varieties, subtle varieties of that, than whole new weapons that have never been part of the lore before. That's my feeling with stuff that I'm more au fait with. But the one I'm looking at here, yeah, I think they may have been a little too conservative with changing things up, because if you're doing DMR, okay, one school of thought says just slap a scope on it, but we've already had a scope on the normal version, and this doesn't look, maybe it's a slightly bigger scope, so I guess that clues you in a little bit that it's meant to be some sort of precision thing, but it's incredibly short. I think we could have stood to have the same receiver design but with a long barrel sticking out the front, like the original Unreal Sniper weird M16 looking thing. But anyway, something that says this is a marksman's rifle, and a stock, or some kind of nod to a stock, some kind of stabilizing device. I realize that in universe they don't necessarily need a stock, or may not be able to butt it up against their armor even, but I have seen at least one gun in the game that does have a stock. So of all of them to have a stock, it ought to be this, I would have said. With a straight magazine there. There's a slight issue here with that magazine. So we have a witness hole, well, not a witness hole, a window down the side, like a modern PMag or something, to see how many rounds you have. That's fine. We can see that there's a round all the way down at the bottom of the body of the mag.
Is there a chaser?
You need a spring to operate the magazine. So what we should, either the window should stop before the bottom and the spring is behind that, or we should be actually seeing the spring there. Unless there's some sci-fi technology that's levitating around
magic
up the magazine. We do have something else protruding out the front there at the bottom.
Yeah, what
almost
is that?
Looks like a bayonet lug. Don't know what that is. And we have a sling swivel below that, a huge sling swivel. Don't know why. These guys do not use slings as far as I've ever seen.
They do. I can take the opportunity to show something to the camera. See?
That's a good camera. Yeah, there it is. Yep.
Well, to be fair to me, I did say use slings. I mean, that's got a sling hanging off it. It's a good point, though. They could have modeled a sling attached, just flapping around. We won't get into why he has a chain and padlock wrapped around his arm. I imagine that would impede use somewhat.
I think the thing you pointed to at the bottom
it's aesthetics,
is a bayonet
obviously.
lug. It's left over from old pattern bolters. Using a bayonet was much more common in like the Porous Heresy era, 30th millennia, where they had bayonets and chainsaw bayonets.
Yeah, so bayonets on DMR type rifles are maybe not common, but they're not uncommon. The original daddy of them all, the SVD, has a bayonet lug, albeit you rarely see them fitted. And it would have been a hell of a bayonet handle, very long weapon.
Yeah.
So it's weird that magazine catch is to the rear of the housing there, where you could actually operate it down, but on the one earlier,
yeah, I feel like it would be.
The front of the magazine,
you should make it consistent.
Strange. I've yet to see a catch get actuated.
It's hard to see because I took a look in photo mode, and it's all done with their left hand. So they're reaching back into the weapon with their left hand to manipulate the catches.
Oh yeah,
logical.
that is hard to see.
Reaching round and pulling down on something is really poor ergonomic design.
Well, it's mirrored on the other side of the weapon as well, so it's on the inside too. So they're manipulating.
I guess
side.
If you're left-handed or right-handed, it doesn't matter.
Still not sure that an exposed vertically sliding catch is very sensible.
I was using OBS. My bad. Let me go back.
On the inside too, so they're manipulating it from that side.
Okay. Still not sure that an exposed vertically sliding catch is very sensible.
This isn't a very sensible universe.
No.
No, it's true, actually. It's the opposite of sensible. Now, here's where I normally complain about scopes having pointless symbology in them in sci-fi games.
Okay.
I can get behind it in this because we have some inscriptions. Okay, we also have some random numbers that probably don't do anything or mean anything, but we also have some Latin around the edge of the scope.
I just put it into a translator, and if this is accurate, this is rad as hell. It's translated it to "Death to me is art," which for a sniper's weapon.
Ooh, that's sick. I love that.
Certain that's what it's meant to say.
That's rad as hell. That goes hard.
Now, what usually happens here, I'm thinking of Event Horizon, among other things, which of course has a loose connection to this universe, kind of, is that someone does a COD Latin translation, and this happened before the internet, but it's even worse now, where you can just slap it in Google Translate, and it spits out something that if you reconvert it, sounds right, or retranslate it, looks right, like this does. But I guarantee you, anyone that knows Latin will be wincing at however that's constructed, because it's never correct. This is future Latin.
Yeah, it's future Latin. Gothic. I remember this mission.
Okay, bolt carbine. Again, it's not clear to me what difference it makes. You can probably tell. Well, I have some stats on the screen, but having played a number of hours, it's probably easier to ask you. How does this feel different to the larger bolt guns?
It feels like it's trying to live in the SMG role, much better in close quarters, higher rate of fire, which sort of makes sense because it's issued to lightweight troops that wear lightweight armor that specialize in close quarters.
Interesting. Yeah, so again, they've been quite conservative with the weapons design. This just looks like a truncated, larger bolter. The foregrip on the front I quite like that. That reminds me of, well, a number of things, really. Anything from MP5K to the improvised ones that we get on Car-15s in Vietnam. The fact that it's the same design as the pistol grip, but mounted at the front is reminiscent of those. Because if you don't give soldiers a foregrip, they will improvise one. They did it with the Thompsons in the Second World War. If they got the straight forend, like as the British issue Thompsons were, they would improvise a grip onto that. AR-15 pistol grips got grafted onto AR-15 handguards, SLR pistol grips onto SLR handguards, etc., etc. But I think this has been designed in. It's maybe mounted a little low on the gun, and very close to the front. There isn't much of a hand stop to stop your fingers getting in the way. But just that alone, shorten it, stick a foregrip on it, you've got yourself an SMG.
To me, Space Marines are perfect for that walking fire doctrine, hip firing a big weapon, walking slowly forward, because they're already armored.
I would expect
you don't really have to worry about it too much.
Actually, extended line, slowly walk forward while firing at the enemy, be their own shield wall kind of thing. Okay, Instigator bolt carbine. So this is a variant. Got a great big flash hidery breaky looking thing on the front. There's that shelf again on the front, which we think is some sort of bayonet lug. There's no obvious means of attaching a bayonet to that thing. It just sort of sticks out. Big blocky squared off front on all these guns. The scope here almost looks like a sort of little bit ACOG-y. I'm not sure why it has those vents in the top of the housing.
This one's burst fire as well.
Yeah, higher rate as well. Haven't seen anything super high rate of fire yet, but this is definitely faster than everything else so far. Seems like we're never getting rid of burst fire.
See, whenever I just play Space Marine, I'm just like, I pick gun. This gun good. Gun.
Someone keeps thinking it's a good idea. This seems to work pretty well, though. In fact, if anyone can take advantage of burst fire to put maximum firepower on target at a distance, it would be these guys. Generally, it's essentially a workaround for not training your soldiers properly. If anything, you need more practice and skill to use burst fire effectively than you do just automatic.
Oh, no, that's a fair point.
Ejection on all these guns is very lethargic. If you contrast that with something like an AK, where it's kicking them into the next zip code, as it were, these things are all sort of lazily trickling out, which makes me concerned about reliability. I guess that's where your machine spirit comes in.
Mm-hmm. Thunk.
Right, a bolt sniper rifle. So the DMR didn't have a stock, the sniper rifle does, although it seems wholly inadequate. It's just a single strut. It doesn't look like it can extend, and it doesn't have a long enough length of pull to... Well, I say that. If it's for nestling against your enormous pauldron, then maybe it could work. Now, I have actually found something that vaguely resembles this.
Oh, yeah.
Which is actually... Ignore the proper buttstock on this. It's actually a G36 LMG.
Oh.
Would you believe? It's actually marked LMG on the side. LMG.
Wow.
And ideally, I think it would probably be used with a drum magazine. This one came to us not with the scope. I added that for this purpose just now. With a
dude, did you see his smile?
Clamped magazine.
He's so excited to talk about this.
Feature of the G36. I once saw a photo of someone who clamped 6 of these together in an actual conflict zone.
Wow.
Now, what we would want to replicate this better is this 10-round mag. There you go. That's not too far off. Best I can do. It almost...
Dude, that's so cool.
More appropriate if I...
He does love his job.
Fold the buttstock. We could find a different buttstock, actually. Try and dress it up. But you absolutely could use this as not a sniper, but as a DMR. It's just branded an LMG because it's intended for more sustained fire. Although they do melt. So the issue that you may have heard about in the news with G36 rifles, as far as I understand it, wasn't really an issue. With something like this that's meant to put cyclic fire through on a sustained basis, yes, that original design of G36 can melt around the barrel trunnion. The modern G36 has solved that with some aluminium. So
yeah, different metal. That makes sense.
Not really a problem. And you have to really go to town for that to happen.
Just saw a clip of yours online today. Now I tune in and we got a G36. Yeah, welcome in, Forgotten Turtle. This is Firearms Expert reacts to Warhammer 40k Space Marine 2 guns.
We're getting a bolt action kind of effect here, but I'm not sure what he's operating. Is he reaching up and operating the bolt?
No, I think it's just a gameplay thing to limit your rate of fire and to make it feel a bit more snipery.
Yeah, which of course it kind of is with modern era game bolt actions, but normally you would build in the cycling. Here, it's like the gun is sort of auto-loading, but really slowly, because you hear that chick sound.
Yeah, thunk.
Which is interesting. I don't think we've seen that before. They either get manually operated or they're semi-automatic, and they might constrain the rate of fire some other way, like the recoil. You can't fire till the recoil is settled.
There was a lot to talk about with Space Marine 2, so this episode is actually split into 2 parts. Join us here next week where we'll be...
That was really good. I love that. This is what I was hoping for the previous video that we watched, their armor expert. Like, I wanted more details, like, oh yeah, like, this is similar and because of this, and like, oh, how realistic is this really? Like, that was awesome. Here, I'm gonna post the link. But I love that. That was so good. This channel also has some videos of an armor historian looking at 40k artwork. Yes, thank you for the super chat. We watched, it was about Total War Warhammer armors. We watched that one last time. And it was good. I was just expecting more. I like this guy way more. And I love that, like, grin on his face when he's like, look at this gun. Look, I thought this was really similar and I really wanted to show it to you. I was like, dude, that's so wholesome. I love that. Like, I love that. It's just so sweet. It is so sweet. Okay, bolt gun type variant explained, or your life as a blood angel. Which one next? I think we could get both of these in. And yes, you have a good night, Overshot. You go get the good eeps. Get the good eeps. We got Blood Angel or Bolt Gun. We'll probably do both tonight, so. You've got gun. Yeah, he loves his job. He's a gun nerd, and then he's a gun nerd and then some. Jonathan is a massive gun nerd and plays a lot of games too, so he does those videos for a lot of games. Dude, it's cool. It's cool. It's really creative. Kind of even. Dude, it's like dog eats bean burrito. We watched that 2 times already. We've already watched the dog with the bean burrito. And this says I watched it, but I haven't. Okay, it's pretty much tied. We're gonna do both. So we're gonna start with your life as a blood angel. We're start with this one. You know, give us space between the guns. I've not seen this. I have no idea what to expect. I just saw this and I was like, oh, this looks interesting. Okay. Okay. All right. Your life as a blood angel. This is going to be interesting. I imagine they pulled a lot of their information from Dante. That book was really good and gave you a lot of insight as to like what life was like for the Baalites, the people living on Baal and its moons, mainly the moons.
You wake up to your mother singing. She does this every morning, some old Baalite song about water and hope. Your father's teaching you how to shoot. He's been at it for months now, showing you how to check rad sensors, spot the dust storms that roll across Baal's secundus, make a kill shot count. You're not very good at it yet, miss more than you hit. Your mother doesn't like the shooting lessons, wants you learning the water purifiers instead, keeping people alive rather than learning to kill. They argue about it sometimes. Not today. Today's quiet, normal. Your father's running perimeter checks with the other settlers, your mother's maintaining the wells. You're supposed to be helping her. Instead, you're still half asleep when the shooting starts. The raiders come at dawn.
No!
12 of them. Your settlement has water, actual drinkable water, which makes it a target. Your father is already shouting for families to reach the caves. He tells you to run. You grab your rifle instead, the one he's been teaching you to use.
Oh no.
You reach the perimeter and see a raider 20 meters out. Easy shot. Your father has made you practice it 100 times on the range. You miss. The raider doesn't.
No. No.
Your father takes the round meant for you.
No.
You're on the ground, rifle in your hands.
No. We're not even like 90 seconds in. This is so bad.
Hands won't stop shaking. Your mother appears, grabs you, tries to drag you toward the caves. 2 raiders cut her off halfway to the caves. She puts herself...
They said cut her off, and I was like, oh no, are they actually gonna...
between you and them, kills one with a scavenge blade. Shoves the blade into your hand, tells you to run. You're too slow, too scared, too frozen. You're standing there watching her fall. Someone drags you into the caves. 30 families, 17 make it. You watch from the cave mouth as raiders loot your settlement, burn what they can't carry. You have a broken knife and rage and the growing understanding that you aren't strong enough. Not strong enough to save them, not fast enough to reach them in time.
No, don't do that.
Just
okay.
Not enough.
That's not smart.
The raiders are loading water when the sky opens up. 3 warriors in red armor drop from the clouds. They don't slow down, don't hesitate.
A drop pod for each guy?
30 seconds later, every raider is dead. One warrior approaches the caves, taller than the settlement's water tower, armor covered in blood and sand. He tells you it's safe, voice processed through his helmet, inhuman but not unkind. Blood angels, post-human warriors built to defend humanity. He did in 30 seconds what your parents died trying to do, what you couldn't do at all. He's strong enough to protect everyone, strong enough that nobody dies on his watch. You want that.
Yeah.
The blood angels secure the area, call in supplies, medical aid. A sanguinary priest in white armor tends to the wounded. He approaches, asks if you're injured. You shake your head. If you lost someone, you nod. He says the blood angels recruit from Baal, that strong young warriors who survive tragedy sometimes find purpose in service. Their fortress monastery holds trials in 3 days. He looks at you carefully, says you have the eyes of someone who'll either do something great or something terrible. Sometimes both. You don't know what that means, but you will soon. You bury your parents that evening. You leave for Arx Angelicum 2 days later. You're going to become strong enough to protect people. Strong enough that you never freeze again.
They're holding trials in 3 days, which means, like... You need to get to Angel's Fall, you needed to leave on day 3. I don't know where you are on Bas Secundus. It takes a hot minute to get there.
Whatever it takes. The trial starts immediately. 200 aspirants, aged 13 to 17, all from Baal or its moons. A chaplain explains the trials. 3 days in the deep wastes, reaching Angel's Fall. Then arena duels, endurance tests, ritual combats. Only then does the chapter choose who drinks from the grail. For now, survive 3 days. You're given a knife and a compass bearing. That's it. Day 1, you walk. The wasteland doesn't care about your grief. The sun's trying to cook you. The sand's trying to bury you. That's fine. You're angrier than the desert. Day 2, you find a cave system. Someone's already inside. Maybe 16, grinning like this is a summer camp, dragging an unconscious aspirant into the shade. He introduces himself as Dino, says there's room if you want to team up. You ask why he's helping someone who's already unconscious. He shrugs, says he heard blood angels don't leave people behind. Figures he should practice. You don't point out he's not a blood angel yet. The optimism's kind of working for him. You tell him the unconscious kid's probably dead. Dino says probably doesn't mean definitely. You stay because the cave's real and your lips are splitting and that scorpion outside is absolutely not natural.
There it is. Scorpion.
The unconscious aspirant dies during the night. Dino buries him at dawn, says a prayer you don't recognize. You ask where he learned it. He says his mother taught him. She's dead too. Suddenly the optimism makes more sense. Day 3, you wake up to someone new. Cassian. Lean, watchful, knife in hand. Dino tries to welcome him. Cassian cuts him off. Tracked 2 aspirants who had water, waited for them to kill each other, then took their supplies. You ask if he helped a survivor. Cassian asks, why'd he do that? Fair point. You ask why he's sharing the cave instead of killing you both in your sleep. He says 3's better than 1 when the mutants come. You didn't know there were mutants. There are definitely mutants. You take position.
Yep.
The three of you survived because Cassian noticed. You don't thank him. He wouldn't know what to do with it anyway. The three of you survived the 3 days. 147 others don't. They call it insanguination. A sanguinary priest presents the Red Grail, filled with blood that's been mixed.
This is a little out of order, but I'm entertained. This is out of order. Is this a story of Dante? Well, it does mirror some like aspects of it. Like the three boys being friendos being like part of it, but it's Dante speedrun, but like it's not in the right order. It's not in the right order.
With the Primarch, Sanguinius' own blood, and preserved across generations of the chapter. He explains what happens next. You'll drink. Gene Seed will bond with your body. You'll be sealed in a golden sarcophagus while unconscious.
That's hilarious. They don't explain that at all. In Dante, they're just like, here, drink this. Have fun.
Over the next year, you'll undergo 19 organ implantations. Few survive. He doesn't mention the Red Thirst. Not yet. Dino drinks first. Drops immediately. Cassian second. Goes down like someone cut his power. Your turn. The blood tastes like copper and iron and something electric. Something that recognizes you're hungry for power and whispers that it can help.
Ooh, oh.
You dream for a year. And what do you dream about? Well, you've just spent 6 months painting in the art hall, so probably how you're going to transport all of it without everything snapping in half, which is where today's sponsor comes in. Tabletop Stronghold. They're a small business out of West Virginia, and their Mag Case 2.0 is basically built for anyone who's ever transported minis,
That's really
while
smart.
quietly accepting that at least one piece is probably going to snap. It works as both a display case and a carry case with steel trays and strong magnets that actually keep everything where it's supposed to be. They even include magnets for the bases, which saves a surprising amount of effort. The tray heights are adjustable too, so you can fit anything from standard units to larger models without having to awkwardly rearrange everything like a suitcase that refuses to close. They also offer free shipping to the USA, Canada, UK, Australia, New Zealand, and most of the EU, which makes the logistics part refreshingly painless. And if terrain is more your thing, their competitive terrain set 2.0 supports all 8 current layouts with modular walls and removable windows, so it's basically ready to go out of the box. Right now, they're running their spring sale with discounts up to 35% off. You can find the link in the pinned comment or description.
Oh, yeah, that's kind of cool.
All right, back to the story. When you wake, everything's different. You're bigger, stronger. You can hear Dino's heartbeat 3 beds over. Smell water running through pipes in the walls. The sanguinary priest is watching you. You ask if everyone feels like this. He says no. Your integration was aggressive. The gene seed took to you faster than normal, bonded harder. That's either very good or very bad. He tells you to report any unusual symptoms, any hunger that doesn't fade, any urges you can't explain. You nod. You don't mention that your mouth waters when the surf walks past, that you can smell the cut on his hand from across the room. You're too busy feeling powerful to think it's a problem.
We got lats.
They assign you to the 10th Company Scouts. The 3 of you end up in the same squad. Dino declares you brothers, says surviving trials and transformation together means you're bonded for life.
He's gonna die.
Cassian points out that most of your trial mates died in the sarcophagi. Dino says that makes you even more bonded. Cassian doesn't argue. You think he might actually agree.
No, he had 4 fingers earlier.
Battle brothers yet. That comes after you've earned the Black Carapace, the final implant that turns your body into a living interface for power armor. Right now, you're just enhanced teenagers with guns and supervision. 6 months of training follows. Combat drills, tactics, history. Dino drags you both to the art halls between drills. Says it's chapter tradition. Blood angels create beauty to counter the violence. You think it's stupid until you pick up a brush. The painting quiets something in your head you didn't know was screaming. Dino paints abstract hope. Cassian creates geometric precision, lifeless angles. You paint your parents, strong, alive, together. With your graduation comes a new shiny red power armor.
It's more than 6 months, by the way.
Your first combat deployment. Orc raiders hitting an agri world, simple suppression, protect civilians, eliminate Xenos. You see Dino excited, Cassian preparing his power sword, and you finally get it. Brothers. Your squad drops into chaos. Dino charges forward with his flame.
Hang on. I'm trying to read the...
Your squad drops into
they do not recommend going to war without your helmet. Yeah.
chaos. Dino charges forward with his flamer, takes down 5 orcs before the weapon clicks empty. 3 more corner him. He's good. Kills 1, wounds another. The third raises a power claw. You're moving before thinking. You reach him, put yourself between Dino and the orc. It's bigger than expected. You're losing. Yeah. Then you smell it. Dino's blood, almost breached at the shoulder joint. Something in your brain lights up like a flare. Your body moves on its own, mouth on the wound. Just a taste. The power hits instantly, everything sharpens, the world goes bright and fast. You turn on the orc and tear it apart with your hands. When clarity returns, Dino's staring at you. You just fed on your brother. He asks if you're okay. You lie. He says you saved him. That was incredible. The power's fading, leaving behind hunger that feels wrong. Deep, growing. You tell yourself it was adrenaline, gene seed glitch. You're lying, but you saved Dino. That's what matters. The Sanguinary Priest explains it after the mission. The red thirst is genetic, built into Blood Angel's gene seed, a flaw inherited from Sanguinius that 10,000 years hasn't fixed. There's another flaw too, the Black Rage. Brothers lose themselves entirely, reliving Sanguinius' death, seeing enemies that aren't there. The thirst usually comes first. For most brothers, it's manageable, a craving satisfied with rituals and rations. For some, it's a scream. The thirst wants blood. Consuming it triggers enhanced strength, speed, aggression. The danger is feeding it. Every time you give in, it gets louder. Fall far enough, the rage follows. Eventually, you're just the thing it uses to feed. He assigns you extra monitoring. Daily rituals, increased rations, you agree to everything. You don't mention the hunger that wakes you at night. That following blood scent is becoming instinct. 3 months later, it happens again.
The fact that it's one of his brothers is like surprising.
You almost didn't stop that time. Almost. Dino pulls you away, grounds you. Cassian watches from 15 meters away. His hand...
Cassian, the future chaplain, perhaps?
And never leaves his bolter. You tell yourself you're in control. The thirst is a tool.
Oh, he added to his family. Cassian stands in the corner,
silent, watching. That night, he corners you, says you're using it, feeding it. It's going to kill someone. Probably you, possibly them. You ask what he wants you to do. Let brothers die? He doesn't answer. Neither do you. Cassian doesn't report
to the chaplain.
Protocol says he should. You promise yourself you'll be more careful. You save your brothers 3 more times. The thirst gets louder each time. Civilians start appearing in the aftermath. You don't remember killing them. The chaplain calls it acceptable losses. You saved more than you killed. The math works. That's what makes it worse.
Oh.
You know what this is now. The thing that turns Blood Angels into monsters. You know where it ends. The Death Company, black armor, chains, suicidal charges until the rage finally kills you. Or execution if you can't even serve that purpose anymore. You'll do it again anyway, because the alternative is watching brothers die. Never again.
Oh no.
6 years since Insanguination. The briefing is routine. Tyranid Splinter fleet near an industrial world. Small force, vanguard organisms. Eliminate them before the main fleet arrives. Should be simple. The intel was wrong. The fleet's 3 times reported size. Organized, led by a warrior formed coordinating them like pieces on a board. You hit dirt already struggling, haven't fed properly in 2 months, trying to keep your promises. Bad timing for self-improvement. The swarm presses forward. Dionel's flamer clicks empty mid-engagement. 3 Hormigons.
He needs to be better about managing his stuff. This cannot keep happening.
Forward. Dionel's flamer clicks empty mid-engagement. 3 Hormigons drag him down. You smell his blood before you see him fall. Suddenly, you're 15 again. You too weak to stop it. Not again. Not again. You're moving, ripping Xenos off him. Dino's on the ground, armor breach, bleeding from a dozen wounds. He's saying something, probably joking. You don't hear it, you hear his heartbeat. Smell his blood. The thirst rises like a tidal wave. You kneel beside him to stop the bleeding. Your hands move on their own. The world goes red. Not the useful red, not the controlled haze. This is drowning. You're aware of what's happening, can feel yourself doing it. Trying to stop, you can't stop. Dino looks at you, eyes wide, not afraid, understanding like he knows this isn't your fault. Like he forgives you already. That makes it worse. You're screaming inside your head, fighting for control. Your body doesn't listen. When you finally wrench yourself away, it's too late. Dianel's still looking at you, but he's not seeing anymore. You hide in the industrial complex ruins. Time fractures, hours or days. You find blood on your armor you don't remember spilling. Dianel appears sometimes. The black rage starting to take hold alongside the thirst. Visions bleeding through, not just Dianel, you see golden wings, a throne room, betrayal. Your mind can't tell what's memory and what's gene seed anymore. Cassian finds you on day 3. Stands there, bolter aimed at your chest. You barely feel it. The thirst surges. Your body's moving before you can warn him. You're on him in seconds, faster than armor explains, stronger than you should be. He fights back. He's good, but you're better. Thirst enhanced, desperate, lost. You get him down, pin him, claws at his throat. Cassian's looking at you, but suddenly you don't see Cassian anymore.
It's
you see
Horace.
Something breaks. Cassian, your last brother, about to die because you wanted to be strong enough. The thirst screams to finish it, but you throw yourself off Cassian. See Tyranids regrouping 30 meters away. The thirst needs violence, needs blood. You give it a target that isn't your brother. You charge, claws and teeth.
He still
and
has
fury,
good self-control.
and the choice to die fighting the right enemy. The Tyranids hurt you. Good. They hurt you more. Better. The thirst screaming, but you're not turning back. Won't turn back. Cassian watches you tear into the Tyranids.
This is a
away
worst
from
case
him,
scenario, yes.
Protecting him. He realizes what you're doing, what you chose. The hive mind decides to make a tactical retreat. The Tyranids scatter. You scream. This was supposed to kill you. Cassian runs to you. You try to warn him, but your body attacks him first. He attacks the same spot where the Tyranids hurt you. The hunger finally stops. You always thought that Cassian was better with the power sword than the bolter. You regret not telling him that before, but you know he knew. He then returns to Arx Angelicum alone. The priest says he did what was necessary. Somewhere in the monastery, new aspirants drink from the Red Grail, making promises, seeking strength. The thirst waits for them too. It always does.
This how I
That was a really good bit of cinema there. Wow. That was a good bit of cinema. We will ignore that part of it was inaccurate. It was too good. Dang. The onion Tyranids, yeah, how dare they? Bruh. Yeah. All right. No more
Bolters
tears.
are one.
No more tears. We learn about bolt guns. Oh, well, we have an ad that's going to start soon, so we'll chat in the meantime. We'll chat since the ad's going to come here, and it's going to hit us in a second. Don't let canon get in the way of a good story. Yeah, I wasn't gonna. I was just like, well, the order is a little wrong, but minor things. Yeah, we're going to talk 4 to 5 minutes before we go to the next video. So, dude, the Blood Angels, it's rough. L'Oreal, no more tears. Are you talking like the baby shampoo, no more tears? Is that what you're talking about? Is that what you're referring to? How does he suck that much blood? Dude, they can just do that. It doesn't matter. They just suck up all the blood. Dude, and write your homebrew lore. Be creative and write your homebrew lore. You should do it. Is it no more tears or no more tears? Tears, no more tears. I'm new here. Are you a blood angel? Your model looks like Sanguinius armor. So no, I'm not a blood angel. I am a custodian, but I've got fancy lore if you want to check out my lore video. It does look very Sanguinius though. My armor, it's very Sanguinius, but it's got more like Custodes like themes. It's like Custodes and a bit of fantasy armors that I like. It's a bunch of different things. No more tears in the rift, preferably. Yes, I like that. I like that. Mods, ban that guy. He used the K word. He used the K word. Ban him. I think you mean no more Tyranids. Oh, see, these are very good. The abhuman part is kind of sus. No, it's not sus. It's not that sus. What's not working? Is my stuff just being weird today? Hang on. One moment. One second. The redeems are being a bit weird today. Oh, that one? Yeah, one second. The redeems have been kind of weird. I don't know why. I'm rebooting my bot. I noticed it earlier and I was like, that's odd. We're fixing it, hopefully. Here, I'll give you your Sangrelia. One moment. It's weird because I didn't touch anything today, so I don't know why. Why is it not working? Huh? I just tested it myself. What are we not connected to? Okay, mods, I guess give them their redeems back. I just tested it and it's not working on my end either. I don't know why. I didn't touch anything. Oh, Ricky, thank you for the super chat. A kid actually killed a Marine from the Blood Angel successor who succumbed to the Red Thirst. The Marines showed up and immediately took him to become an aspirant. What book is this? Where is this from? I have not heard this before. What up, Aurelia? Great channel, great personality. Oh, thank you, man. I appreciate it. I appreciate that. Thank you. But Ricky, I need source. I'm very curious. She's actually female Fulgrim. Just because there's a little bit of purple doesn't mean I'm Fulgrim or Slaneshi. Man, you guys know how to push my buttons. You know how to push my buttons. Okay. The ad is over. The ads are done. I'll keep an eye out for Ricky's message because I'm really curious where the source is. They bid big red shiny buttons. Yeah, they say Exterminatus on them. All right. This one. Every single bolt gun type variant explained. Chat, why do you rage bait me so? Why do you rage bait me so? Why do you do this to me? The book itself wasn't very good. In our opinion, it's part of the Warhammer horror series. Fair enough. I accept. I accept. I accept that. Rage bait with love. Only my family is allowed to do that. Anyways.
Bolters are one of the most iconic weapons in the Warhammer 40k universe. This chunky gun is all hard edges, oiled metal, and has just enough Baroque details to remind you that the bolter is not just a battle rifle, it's a holy symbol of the Emperor's wrath. Bolters are used as the primary weapon for both the warrior nuns of the Adeptus Sororitas and the warrior monks of the Adeptus Astartes. But you'd be hard-pressed to...
I mean... Okay, I never thought about that. Warrior monks. I guess yes. It depends on your definition of monk, because if you're saying they're monks because they're celibate, okay, yeah, I see that. But I would say Black Templars are more like monks than any other Astartes. That's an interesting thought. I get, yeah, it just boils down to your definition of monk. Yeah, but yeah, like I said, sorry, I agree. Black Templars are most like monks amongst all the chapters, but they're more accurately paladins. To be fair, they're not celibate by choice. Okay, but you could argue that they are, because if you voluntarily go to a trial to become a space marine, like in the Dante book, they straight up said, like, you will not know the love of, like, your family members, of, like, another. It will only be, like, the love of your brothers, like, brotherly love. They basically straight up say, you're not getting any. So technically, if you go through with it, that is your choice. So, yeah, they do not have a monastic lifestyle. I agree. Yes, they're called fortress monasteries, but like, yeah, like how close is it to monks? Yeah, they do have practicing prayers and they do a bunch of stuff, but like, anyways.
Find an Imperial or ex-Imperial army without at least some type of bolt weapon in their loadouts. It's the brick that forms the very foundation of mankind's galaxy-spanning empire. So get the sacred oils ready and pay attention while we tell you all about the bolter. To say that the bolter is a battle rifle is a little misleading. The standard infantry bolt gun fires a self-propelled, depleted deuterium 75 caliber shell. It's got a mass reactive detonator cap that explodes on contact with a target, a diamantine tip for breaching armor, and can be adapted to many specialty uses by simply swapping out the payload. This means that for a standard bolt shell, the operation cycle is as follows. 1, the user pulls the trigger. 2, a shell leaves the barrel and after a moment ignites its onboard propellant. 3, the shell picks up speed as it flies to the target. 4, the combination of dense metal core and diamantine tip allow the round to breach the target's armor. 5, the payload, typically a small explosive, detonates. The bolt gun is not a rifle, it's a specialty rocket-propelled grenade launcher. There are some exceptions to this though, but the vast majority of bolt weapons operate by firing their 75 caliber or higher round and letting the shell take it from there. And the payload can be anything from the standard explosive round to tranquilizers, psychotoxins, razor filament wires, and psychically impregnated shrapnel. Whether it was because the bolter was such a versatile weapon or that it was made to be versatile because of its importance and the ease at which it could be produced, bolt weapons have some of the widest range of ammunition types in the whole universe. For many, the bolt pistol is a status symbol, a beacon of power so difficult to maintain that they end up being quite rare. For armies that employ servitors and Martian tech adepts, however, the bolt pistol is a sturdy and reliable sidearm that shares ammunition with the larger bolt guns, making them ideal for any army that uses both. Bolt pistol variants come in many flavors, from the standard Astartes pistols and Primaris heavy pistols to the exotic drum-fed Necromunda types and even the Votan bolt pistols, as they came from mankind long ago, and so had bolters with them when they spread out into the stars. There are even some canes made for the rich or well-connected in the Imperium that are essentially single-shot bolt pistols, which has to be one of the least elegant hidden weapons I've ever heard of. Honorable mention goes to the Spitfire bolt pistol, which is actually a modified flare launcher that was redesigned to fire rocket-propelled distress flares. Not quite the same as a regular bolt pistol, but you get points for trying. The bolt gun is the original bolt weapon, the gun everyone thinks about whenever 40k is even mentioned. It's the standard firearm of the Marines and the Sisters of Battle. It has more variation than Tzeentch has schemes. It is the gun that all other bolt weapons are modeled on, and though it is showing its age, it's not even close to losing its throne.
No, bolter is king.
The standard bolter, if there is such a thing, is a rifle-like weapon meant to be used in two hands, although Marines frequently ignore that part. Like we said earlier, a bolter can fire a huge array of specialty shells and can be used in many different configurations. Subtle variants have been built on planets across the Imperium, but since most of them operate like regular bolters, we'll just cover the really weird ones here. Okay. A list of bolters is incomplete without the Stalker bolter, a bolt gun that has been modified to shoot much more quietly than the booming action one normally expects. The Forge bolter proves that bolt guns don't even have to be held in any hands, being mounted on a servo arm to leave a Tech Marine's hands free.
I was looking here, I'm like, that doesn't look like a bolter. And then I was like, oh, you mean this one.
For other work. Even the bolt casters used by the Legio Custodes are just bolters built into the ancient and powerful Guardian Spear and swords of the Emperor's bodyguards.
Sick.
It would also be good to mention here that bolt guns are often merged with other weapons like plasma and meltaguns to create a combi bolter, each of which are rare and valuable
sanguineous
weapons only given to the likes of Space Marine leaders and Inquisitors. Honorable mention here goes to the Angelus Bolt Carbine, which should not be confused with the Angelus Bolt Gun, which is used by the Blood Angels Elite Sanguinary Guard. The Angelus Bolt Carbine is actually a black market bolter that is made from scraps and loaded with ammunition that has been stolen from the production lines of the Fane Phycos on the world of gunmetal. The resultant carbines are built to an extremely high quality and sold off to rich clients who want to own their own bolters. The bolt shotgun is the only weapon on our list that is not used by any army in the Imperium. Designed and wielded by only the Leagues of Votann, these shotguns are essentially close-range, harder-hitting versions of the weapons used by the forces of humanity, and that's not a coincidence. The kin of the Leagues of Votann were once human explorers and miners, so they were equipped with human weaponry that has since diverged in their evolution similarly to the kin themselves. If the Imperium wasn't so stubborn about adapting alien technologies, they'd probably love to use these things. Designed by Belisarius Cawl himself in order to properly equip his new Primaris Space Marines, the Cawl Pattern Bolt Rifle is the next chapter in the bolter story. Built larger to accommodate the bulkier forms of Primaris warriors, the bolt rifle is capable of great stopping power, and even though it's still relatively new, the bolt rifle...
Now think about it, I'm pretty sure that looks like a little girl's room, so it's a she.
Already has a bunch of variants. Auto bolt rifles for more close-range suppression, stalker bolt rifles for stealth ops, heavy bolt rifles for maximum intimidation. There's even an actual Primaris carbine based on the Cawl rifle and used by the lighter armored Phobos warriors. Oh, and let's not forget the Shrike pattern bolt sniper rifles, allowing Marines to really stretch the maximum range potential of a bolter. The bolt rifles are great weapons, a true successor to the venerable bolt gun. Storm bolters are the result of someone asking, hey, what would happen if we taped a pair of bolt guns together? The answer
now kiss.
Incidentally, is that you would get one of the most effective assault weapons in the galaxy. Even from that first thought, the twin-linked bolter, which would become the Storm bolter, was used primarily by Terminator squads, veteran assault units equipped with almost indestructible tactical dreadnought armor. These Marines are in need of fast-firing weapons that can stand up to the abuse from being used by the powerful but clumsy Terminators and the situations they often find themselves in. You see, Terminator armor gives its wearer extra strength and stability, and so the Marine wearing a Terminator suit worries even less about recoil than their light armored comrades.
100%.
All of these factors come together to make the Storm bolter capable of firing at the same ranges as a regular bolt gun, but twice.
I love it when they're mounted on the wrist. That's so cool.
As fast, and as a result, the Storm bolter sees service across the Imperium, both with the warriors of the Astartes and as pintle-mounted defense weapons for vehicles. Typically mounted on Primaris aggressor units, the hefty Boltstorm gauntlets mount a bolt gun onto the housing of a huge power fist. This allows these heavy assault units to have some ability to hose down a target with bolt shells before closing the distance to finish them off with their crackling fists. The Boltstorm gauntlets have technically been around since before the Primaris put them into wider service, with notable weapons like the Gauntlets of Ultramar used by Chapter Master Marneus Calgar being a clear example of this sort of weapon. Heavy bolts.
See, unfortunately, if you have it attached to your hand, you can't really practice a lot of gun safety because, you know, you don't want to point it at anything you don't, you know, want to kill. So you can't really practice a lot of gun safety if it's on your hand or your wrist. Unfortunately. Oh well.
Bolters are another classic, a large and cumbersome variant of the bolt gun that is used for everything from Space Marine Devastator heavy weapon squads to vehicle-mounted defense guns. The heavy bolter typically fires a larger caliber version of the standard bolt shell and is such an effective weapon that every Imperial and ex-Imperial army in the galaxy relies on it to suppress and destroy enemy infantry and light vehicles.
I love heavy bolters.
This has led to many variants, including the Primaris Assault Bolter, which is intended to be used one-handed by Gravis armored Inceptors, and while heavy bolter variants aren't as numerous as the ones for bolt guns, the importance of this infantry portable cannon cannot be overstated. Okay, we are cheating a bit with this one. The Psi Cannon is technically a heavy bolter variant. It's a large, fast-firing bolter. However, the unique nature of the Psi Cannon and its heavily specialized role led us to placing it in its own category. As we said, the Psi Cannon is basically just a heavy bolter. However, not only has this weapon been heavily modified to shoot psychically charged shells, it's only used by one army, the Grey Knights.
Today. Yes, this is true.
This most secretive chapter of Space Marines operates as the Chambers Militant for the Ordo Malleus, the arm of the Inquisition most suited for fighting the demonic forces of chaos. As such, each and every warrior of the Grey Knights is a psyker in their own right and use their powers to fuel a unique array of weaponry, the Psi Cannon being one of those, with each silver-tipped shell charged with negative psychic energy that is guaranteed to give demons and rogue psychers a very bad day. But in the hands of a trained Grey Knight, the Psi Cannon can also infuse their shots with a little bit of extra power. It's kind of disappointing that these weapons are only available to the Grey Knights. I'm sure plenty of chapters would love to deck out their psychers or psychic dreadnoughts with one of these weapons as well. And now we're getting into the variants that only appear on vehicles.
Yeah,
and we're starting with weapons
sponsons and stuff, like, they're really talking about everything here.
That follow in the fine example set by the Stormbolter. More specifically, if duct taping two bolters together gave us the Stormbolter, what happens if we just keep adding bolters? Well,
yes, this is the best way to achieve more firepower. Just add more guns.
Well, that's where you get the Tempest and Hurricane bolters. These sponson-mounted weapons are really just arrays of regular bolt guns. The Tempest array is composed of 4 bolters and can be found on the Reaper variants of the Primaris Gladiator grav tanks, while the Hurricane array consists of 6 bolters and can be mounted on ironclad dreadnoughts, Stormraven gunships, Centurion battlesuits, and the iconic Land Raider Crusader variant. These arrays are used for frontal assaults against massed infantry, taking the incredible stopping power of the bolt gun and multiplying it for obvious results.
Yeah.
It might be a simple concept, but the most effective weapons often are. Everything tends to get weirder and more unique as they get larger.
I didn't know if we were gonna talk about this. I've seen these and it's like, kill me.
And bolters are no exception, especially once they've been mounted to a vehicle. Something about being free from the constraint of needing to be portable leads designers to think up some wild applications for weaponry. The Avenger bolt cannon is a fairly standard idea that is often found on Imperial Navy fighter craft. It's a Gatling bolter, adding a huge boost to the fire rate.
And that picture looked like it was from an Imperial Knight.
Of a heavy bolter. Similarly, the Mauler bolt cannon is a heavy bolter designed by the Mechanicus for use on their battle automata, but instead of going for a faster fire rate, the Mauler goes the other direction and loses some of that ability in favor of loading much larger shells. The Mauler ends up being a fairly effective tank killer as a result. But points for the most unique bolter vehicle weapon probably go to the Scatterbolt launcher, a design created by the White Scars Space Marines Legion back during the Great Crusade. An underslung design, the Scatterbolt was mounted on the Shamshir jet bikes, and instead of firing directly, the Scatterbolt fires a wall of bolt shells that have been primed to explode before impact, spreading a wall of shrapnel and explosions just ahead of the bike as it charges forwards. Finally, we get to the big boys, the Titan bolters. Yes, the bolter is so ubiquitous that it has even been adapted to the towering god engines, transforming them from simply infantry killers into city-leveling calamities. The Castigator bolt cannon found on smaller Imperial Knight Titans, and the Vulcan Mega Bolter found on a range of large Titans like the Reaver and Warlord Titans, both hurl oversized bolter shells at incredible rates of fire and are capable of blowing meter-wide holes in even the strongest fortifications.
Yikes.
Needless to say that any infantry formation that finds itself in sights of one of these truly colossal weapons is very quickly relegated to the past tense. The bolter is such an iconic weapon. Subtle variations and army patterns have provided us hobbyists with an incredible range of bolt guns to equip our minis with over the years, so if we missed one of your favorite makes, let us know in the comments. We plan on going over more weapon types in later videos as well, so don't be shy about discussing potential topics either. And as usual, don't forget to subscribe and hit that like button, or you might find yourself with a knockoff Spitfire bolt pistol instead of a real one for the holidays. All the more reason to make sure you never miss more lore.
Solid. They were very thorough. I mean, I know they're like every single type, so you know, you'd hope that they get every single type. But I was impressed. The engravings give no tactical advantage whatsoever. Who cares about that? I want Baroque big gun. I want to look pretty while I'm on the battlefield. That's the purpose. That's the point. That's the whole point. Yes, drip is key. You gotta have aura. Baroque big gun. Look, it's important. You have to have it. It's for morale. It's for morale. Okay. We covered all of our stuff. Yeah, the engravings can hurt demons. You're right. Good point. Good point. Good point. Good point. That's a very good point. Yeah, looking fancy boosts morale, so it is tactically beneficial. And you're like, hey, at least I'm like killing it. At least I'm like killing it. Let's see. We got anyone to raid? Thank you guys for humoring me and being willing to watch the Taco Bell stream. The Taco Bell video. That was funny. The Taco Bell video was the best video of the bunch. Who would have thought? Who would have thought? It was very memey and silly and stupid, but that was very fun. I enjoy it. I enjoyed it thoroughly, and I hope you guys did too. It was definitely a video like I wanted for myself, but I just thought it was silly, and I thought it was a good time. I had fun. Did you guys have fun? I hope you had fun. I hope you enjoyed yourself. Let's see. I want to see if we can find someone like new that we can hang out with. I need to do some more I need to do some more like stalking on Twitch to see if there's people that would be fun to raid into. You know, we'll just go with Mel again. We'll go with Mel. She's pretty reliable and a lot of fun. It's called lurking. Yeah, look. I don't have time to lurk. So we'll just rate. Yeah, she's doing a subathon. So go support Mel. Yeah, we'll raid into her. So thank you guys for hanging out with me. Tomorrow was vibe day. I was gonna figure out if we were gonna play games or if we were gonna do minis, but I think tomorrow we're gonna do something with minis. I received a package recently and I have plans. I have big plans. And Katrina, thank you so much for joining. I'm glad you really liked this. It's a lot of fun. We've got more streams this week. See, Friday and Saturday at the same time as tonight. And then Sunday, we're gonna finish the Lehman Rust. I did watch a video on how to magnetize it, so we will get it done. Finally painting the big boy. No, I have another project we're gonna do. I have another project we're gonna do. It's gonna be a good time. Anyways, please don't skip leg day. Go support Mel, please. Follow all the rules and stuff, and I will see you guys later. Bye.